the door and keep your eyes shut. The lights flicker, there's evil all around us. No one's safe from the nightmare. Cold sweat, so scared. Someone get me out of here. They say you better be afraid. The night's coming like fire from a hand grenade. There's no escaping tonight. It's coming alive.
Well, it's Tuesday Night Live, 8 o'clock here on the SLG Network. And you know what that is? Sports with Rich. And my young cohort, my protege, there he is every week, Robert, the Wiz Rizzo. And I welcome you in, everyone, nationwide, worldwide on the SLG Network and YouTube Live. Like, comment, and subscribe for the show, Sports with Rich, as you've been doing. We want to hear from you in the cube tonight. Questions and comments as always, and we'll get to you as soon as we can. Fact of the week will be coming up. You know, the Wiz got it last week. I don't know if he'll get it this week. We want you to get it so I can give away that Iron Judge bobblehead. It's still here, so we'll welcome you in if you get the answer to the fact of the week later. Of course, nobody beats the Wiz. We'll check in at Yankee Stadium in a moment with Jason Schott, Brooklyn Digest, who is covering the Game 2 Yankees-Mets Subway Series in the Bronx, and a lot more. A lot of NFL as well. And again, we want to hear from you. Like, comment, and subscribe. So, Wiz, how are you, my friend? We had a busy week. How you doing?
Oh, I'm energetic as always. You know that. We had a busy week. We were in Philly, the Bronx, Citi Field, everywhere in between. You know that. But we got a lot to talk about, a lot of sports going down. And let's start off with the weekend.
Yeah, the weekend that was for us in Philadelphia, which I'll tell you, I enjoyed it. Anytime I can be around you 24/7, I enjoy it because your wealth of sports knowledge. You always have that iced coffee in your hand. You know, you never sleep. You never sleep.
I gotta slow down with the coffee.
Yeah, don't do it till you get my age because it's gonna hurt you in the end. But I still have mine every day too, as you know. How many times did I send you to get me an iced coffee over the past few days? Right?
And I do it. I lost count.
Everyone knows it's got to be light, one sugar, half and half. Iced coffee in the stomach, nothing like it. All right, enough of that. Let's take a look at Phillies Mets. You know, we took the trip down the Jersey Turnpike to see the Mets play the Phillies this weekend, where the Mets prevailed 3 out of 4 in that Sunday game, which might have been epic in Mets standards in their history with the comeback. They've had 2 other games like that this year, but Mets-Phillies, well, that was a good 4-game series. And, yeah, we first got to look at the if you haven't been down there, it's a great sports complex, and we're going to show you an image of that as well. But you've got Citizens Bank across the street, the old Vet Stadium, now Lincoln, what is it called?
Lincoln Financial.
Oh, yeah, I thought I was going to call it Lincoln Park, the TV show. Philly fans are great despite what Met fans think, and there were a ton of Met fans who made the trip up the Jersey Turnpike, down the Jersey Turnpike for Mets Phillies. They do that all the time. But we met first. We had a little tour in the parking lot where we parked in the media area, and we saw the fans coming in. Me and the Wizards always had to have a little chat. Here it is. Well, Riz, it's me and you back in Philly. The Wiz, we're in Philly, Mets Phillies. You dragged me down here.
Big doubleheader day.
Yeah.
NL East rivalry going down.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah. Yeah, we're here. Now we're here.
You didn't seem so energetic to be in Philly.
No, because you drive really. I got to tell you, he's a great driver. But an hour and a half for me in a car, making one stop, that's pretty strenuous on this old man's body. You know what I mean? But yeah, we were there in the parking lot, and then we got a nice view inside. I've been there before. First time for you was I want you to explain the scene at Citizens Bank Park. Take a look at this beautiful stadium that the Phillies have for their fans down there. It is one of those ballparks, and it's not an old young ballpark by any means. It's been around there about 25 years, I think, maybe a little less, but still better than what the old Vet was. Well, tell us about that. When's first time you were there? What'd you think?
The stadium was breathtaking. Everyone was so friendly. Security helped us with a bunch of stuff. But first off, the city skyline in center field is beautiful for any ballpark. And Philly to have that, that's one of the best things in sports, honestly. I love that. The ballpark, and especially how you were saying before, the sports complex, everything's so walking distance. you can hit an Eagles game, a Phillies game, all in the same day in September. That's perfect for a sports fan.
And the best part is the Philly cheesesteaks in that ballpark and in that beautiful city of brotherly love, as they call it. We had a taste of that too with our buddy Luis Cortez, boxing writer that I work with, that gave us a little tour. We'll talk about it in boxing later. We got a tour of the boxing gyms the day before, and a nice talk with Gerald Boutzenis, the welterweight contender. But yeah, the trip to Philly was worth it as the Mets came in winning 14 of 19, hottest team in baseball since the All-Star break, and still holding first place, but thinly in the National League East as the Braves never lose. But the story this past week, everyone knows, and we had some fun with it, as we know. Yankee fans haven't been happy with the swoon. Last night, they came back and defeated the Mets 4-2 in a well-pitched ball game by Domingo Germán and the bullpen, and Andrew Bernatini finally got the home run track going after joining the Yankees since the trade deadline. But Aaron Boone went off. He went off not so much with the media, something maybe that could incite his ball club. I thought it was pretty funny because we never saw Joe Girardi or Joe Torre do this in their 20 years manages his team. It almost reminded me a little bit about Billy Martin's era before you were born. Was Boone in the press conference, I believe, frustrated Saturday after the Yankees another tough loss in the Bronx at the stadium. And then he did this. I don't know if we have a tape of it or an image.
And the great thing is, it's right in front of us. It's right here, and we can fix it.
Oof.
And the great thing is, I can't take it no more.
But Boone, sheesh.
And it's
You
right in
back,
front of
Rich?
me. And it's right in front of me.
Right when I saw that mic drop, I jumped.
Well, I don't have a mic, but this came off.
Yeah.
But it reminded me a little bit. You know I go on my tirade. You've seen it.
Especially being in that room, I can't imagine. I would have jumped.
I talked to the media guys because I was in there. I was in Philly with you. I talked to them last night at the stadium, and they're laughing at it. But it's no laughing matter. The Yankees have been in this swoon. And Boone obviously tired. Let's face it, hearing the same question day after day. What's wrong? What do you have to do to get this right? And, so Boone showed his aggravation on a mic at the Yankee press conference room, which is a beautiful room, by the way, in the bowels here in Yankee Stadium. But he didn't break the mic, but it flew up in the air like this.
Don't break your mic, Rich.
Yeah, well, Calvin's probably not going to be happy about the noise either.
Anyway,
what did you make of that, Wiz? Because do you think that incites a team that might get them going?
I think it definitely incites a team. It lit a fire under the team. They're 2-0 since that stretch, and they versed Manoah and a 3-time Cy Young Award winner in Scherzer and went 2-0 against them. So it definitely lit a fire in them, and hopefully they progress into tonight, score some runs against the Mets, and make it a firework type of night.
I feel the Yankees are going to get out of this swoon. I saw it last week a little bit, but I saw it last night. You saw better contact at the plate, better selection of their pitches. They weren't rushing, they're more patient. You got good pitching, which wins ball games. And except for Oswaldo Cabrera, the rookie who made that error to put the Mets practically back in the game, other than that, their defense hasn't been too bad, but it's been shabby during this 5-6 week swoon that reduced that deficit in the American League from 15.5 to now 8 games. The Blue Jays and the Rays, let's face it, they're in the wild card hunt, but still have a shot if the Yankees continue to swoon, Riz.
Yeah, the swoon's been real the last 2 or 3 weeks now. They're 4-6 the last 10. Obviously, they have a 8-game lead in the division, but Yankee fans care about is October. That's all that matters. And right now, this doesn't look like an October team. They're battling out of it right now. But the last 13 games, they're batting 186. That's ranked 29th in MLB. And they only have 10 homers in that stretch. When you think of the Bronx Bombers and Aaron Judge, he should be having 10 homers in just 1 month alone.
And Yankee fans boo Aaron Boone. They boo Brian Cashman. They even booed Aaron Judge a little bit instead of calling him the MVP because he's been a little swoon up until that home run ball he hit off Max Scherzer last night, the cutter. As Scherzer said, I got to do better than that. And believe me, he does. We'll get to the Mets in a moment. But this has been, to me, a Yankee collapse that our colleague Howard Carpenter said was coming. He saw it maybe more than a month ago. A collapse that I think they're going to straighten out. They're too good as a veteran team as they are to continue this swoon. I saw a little bit of them coming out of it yesterday. Now, their schedule is so-so, 50-50, as I would say, as they go down the stretch here, the very important stretch toward the eggs of August into that September stretch. And they go to the West Coast after here, and they're playing sub-500 teams in the A's and the Angels. And then they go down to Tampa Bay on this next long road trip after tonight, and Tampa Bay's in the wild card hunt. And they give the Yankees headaches all the time down there.
Yeah, Tampa and Yankees, they always go back and forth. It seems like a rivalry building year by year. We saw it in the playoff run in 2020. But Rays, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, obviously that's their fourth-place team, but it feels like a rivalry every time. The Orioles are right then in there. It feels like the AL East has 3 to 4 legit playoff teams.
And, one thing that doesn't help any team, or even us up in the press box, is those damn rain delays. And we had another one. The other night, we had another one in the Bronx. I hate this. I love rain. Everyone knows it. You know it. I love rain. I love cold weather. Everyone knows this. You know that. But I can't stand rain delays at the ballpark. That'll keep us at the ballpark more than, the game is moving along, and all of a sudden the clouds open up. And that poured at Yankee Stadium the other night. Do we have a photo of that, of the tarp on the field at Yankee Stadium? That's
a massive flood.
Example of how it looks in the press box. And that field flooded. Credit to that Yankees ground crew. Got it back in shape to have a good drainage system because it looked like at one point they could never get that game resumed, but they did. And it brings up another point. The weather's changed. When they built these new ballparks in New York, Yankee and Citi Field should have been retractable roofs, domes. But they didn't do it. They didn't have the money to do it, and there you go. Another rain delay. More to come. There'll be many more before the season. That I hate. What do I do during rain delays? What do you do during rain delays? You experienced it for the first time. Tell us out there what you experienced. I've done it. I can't tell you how many times in my almost 40-year career. What did you do during the rain delay? You disappeared.
Yeah, it's just a lot of scrolling on your phone, being on your computer, trying to watch a game if you can with a different stream. But honestly, it's just a boring type of time. And I can't imagine for the fans in the rain. That's just the worst.
Well, they stayed there. 42,000, many of them stayed and remained. But you know what we do too? We are on deadline. So we write out column pieces. We put them together as quick as we can. The rain delay gives us that ability to catch up. Both of us write for LatinoSports.com, and I write for NewYorkSportsDay.com, among others. So we're able to get our work done. That's the advantage of a rain delay. Other than that, I can't stand rain delays. Anyway, enough of that. This guy, Garrett Cole, has he been doing the job down the stretch now for the Yankees? Wiz, he looks better, but he's not dominating enough. And the Yankees need that dominant pitcher in a rotation to get ready for October.
Yeah, the last 2 starts, he's 0-2, only 5 earned runs allowed, but they have no run support for him each and every outing. It's 12 innings pitched the last 2 outings with 11 strikeouts. He slowed down on the strikeouts, but honestly, the Yankees offense has to wake up. And with Garrett Cole, we talked about it before with Boone, it was lighting the fire under the team a little with Manoah hitting Judge. We saw that on Sunday afternoon. That lit the fire under the team a little, and we saw it as Benintendi hit the 2-run homer in the 7th inning.
That definitely sparked that team last night. The thing with Cole is he's lessened his ability to give up the home run ball. I think he's given up like 18 among as many starts. I don't have the exact stat in front of me, but he's lessened that down in his last few starts, which is good news. The Yank pitching staff overall gives up a lot of home run balls. Their ERA is hanging in there. Their team ERA is not among the tops in baseball no more as it was in the first few months when they got off to this great start. I thought the Yankees were going to win 110 ball games, set franchise and Major League Baseball records. That ain't happening now. We know that. Maybe 95, 97 wins, but you're not going to see this team dominate like they did in the first half. They're in a struggle. They got to get out of it. I think they'll continue to struggle down the stretch, and then we go to October and see what they're going to do with the pesky Houston Astros in their way.
Yeah, especially in the last month, the injuries piled up with them. We've seen it. Stanton, Matt Carpenter, even LeMahieu in and out of the lineup. Even Rizzo's playing tonight, but we've seen it back and forth. He's out of the lineup with the back. So they got to get healthy, get right. But comparing the first half, they were putting the ball in play way more, not depending on the long ball. And as we've been talking about it, you put the ball in play, then consist on the home run. It's a 3-run homer, and that changes the game. A lot of solo homers ain't doing it.
Yeah. No. And when Aaron Judge hits the home run ball, they seem to win. That's the thing. He broke a 9-game homerless streak last night. The cutter from Max Scherzer, still leading the major leagues in home runs and tied with RBI, I think, with Pete Alonso, if I'm not mistaken. But, when Aaron Judge hits a home run, the Yankees win. When the Yankees score in the first inning, they tend to win. Judge, though, went into this little swoon, and tonight, seems like he's back at it as game 2 of the conclusion of this Subway series that I hate winds down. The Yankees looking to split the 4 games that go back to the 2 that were first played at Citi Field last month. All right. We move to the other side of the town with the talk of the town. I've been writing about it. You've been writing about it on LatinoSports.com and me on NewYorkSportsDay.com. Edwin Diaz. You know what? His last 2 out of the pen. That wasn't dominating Edwin Diaz. He's lost his command a little bit. That's expected. Met fans shouldn't panic. They shouldn't boo him. Diaz has been phenomenal. When you look at Edwin Diaz again, command and control were his issue when he first got here to New York. The slider and fastball weren't working. He adjusted, straightened it out. His strikeout ratio per inning, best in baseball out of the bullpen this season. You can't expect this guy to be a robot. Terry Collins, a former manager, would you say that? These aren't robots. So his command is down a little bit. And what do you make of Edwin Diaz now? Do you think this is just a temporary thing? It's not a major swoon on his part, but his command is a little suspect the last 2 times out of the pen, Wiz.
I just think it's a temporary issue right now. I think the last outing he had was Sunday, and that was a 4-game stretch from him. His previous outing, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. So I think it was too much in between for the rest. He should be pitching every 2 or 3 days, and we saw him lose command on Sunday against the Phillies. So he'll be back to normal in just about a week or so because they have the Rockies coming in and then the Dodgers. So he'll get right against the Rockies, and then hopefully that Dodgers series has playoff atmosphere at Citi Field.
Also, Diaz has to pitch almost every day, every other day. He can't be off the mat. He's going to be in there every day, every other day to stay consistent. The momentum continues, and I think that's a part of the issue. He can get rusty like any pitcher that's not pitching, especially out of the bullpen, because they're used to coming in almost every day, every other day, whether it be half an inning or an inning or well. But I don't expect Edwin Diaz to go into that swoon as some people always looking for something to pick on. Let's see tonight. Maybe he'll show up at Yankee Stadium tonight. You talk about the Mets after the Dodgers series, though. Sub 500 teams on their schedule. The remaining 38, 16 against 3 or 4 teams. These teams like 7 against the Pirates, 6 against the Nats, 3 against the A's on the coast, Marlins, Rockies, and Cubs. So the schedule's in their favor. The Braves have it a little tougher because they got the West Coast teams, including the Giants, are always tough out there in San Francisco. But their schedule is just about even too with sub 500 teams. So I expect this division race to be decided till the end, beginning of October, Wiz.
Yeah, I totally agree. They have a 3-game series in the beginning of October. That should shape it up because I think it's going to go back and forth until then. The Braves have been one of the hottest teams in baseball since they brought up their rookie, Michael Harris, who they signed. We talked about it last Tuesday. And then it just adds on from there. Austin Riley's having an MVP-like season. Matt Olson heated up, Dansby Swanson. So Francisco Lindor and the Mets with the Braves, that's a lot to look forward to in September.
Let's look at Lindor. Tonight, in the Yankee game, he's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout, but he's been a catalyst to this lineup. And then you got Pete Alonso, who's gone into a little swoon. We're not seeing a home run ball coming from him as often as we were. That doesn't mean he's not going to continue to hit home runs. Look, we're in the dog days of August. It's a stretch run. These guys are tired. I don't care what you say, how much money they make. They're humans. Like I said, they're not robots.
Yeah, big time. A lot of guys need their rest. Like you said, it's the dog days of summer. During the road trip for Alonso, he's 5 for 35 entering tonight, so he's definitely got to get back to Citi Field in front of the Met fans. But going back to Lindor and Alonso, those are the only two teammates across MLB with 84 or more RBIs each, and they're both batting over 268. So when you have that for your 3-4 in the lineup, that's a scary duo.
Well, the Mets aren't scoring as many runs as they were a month ago, and the Yankees, of course, aren't scoring as many runs as they did 3 months, beginning of the season. In fact, the Yankees were the top run-scoring team in the game. I think there may be in the middle of the month. Since the All-Star break, they're next to last. I cannot believe the stats when you look at the Yankee numbers, how they've declined so bad. Who do you put the blame on? Brian Cashman yesterday, before we met with the media, we're going to talk about the Mets again in a moment, but the Subway Series is the big news out of New York and in baseball the last few days. Cashman said he still had belief in this team. He's not going to make any. He can't really make many changes. Wait for people to get back to health, he said to the media, which is expected. Also has faith in the manager, Aaron Boone. But I'll tell you this: we talked about it. Wiz, had the Yankees lost last night and lost tonight against the crosstown Mets, if the old man George was around, one of those guys is getting fired. I don't think the younger Steinbrenner, Howell, would do that, but you never know. If the Yankees lost last night and lost tonight, Boone or Cashman's gone. I don't think Cashman's coming back after the contract anyway. I don't think they're going to renew, and the longevity and loyalty are over with. But this is Cashman's team. He said we'll fix it. He made an interesting comment that I wrote about on NewYorkSportsDay.com. We'll get it fixed like the internet has to get fixed. He made a comparison that we got to put them back online, which I thought was a great comment. And then Brian Cashman always has great comments like that.
Definitely. And it was surprising to hear him speak to the media before Mets Yankees, but that's what you want out of your general manager during a season like this. You want someone answering those tough questions instead of ducking the media in general.
And he did. It was unexpectedly how we met the media yesterday before the first game of the Subway Series, and he was asked tough questions. He faced them. Aaron Boone this week faced a lot of tough questions, faced him, and of course went on his tirade with the microphone and the table. And I'm not going to do that again because I might break another piece of my equipment here.
Too much damage.
I break them even on tirade. How I break things, tirades or not. I'm the clumsiest person around. Back to the Braves. 5th easiest schedule in the division in the National League. Got the Phillies. They got the Mariners. They got the Giants. In September, their schedule weakens up. So it's the 5th easiest schedule for the Atlanta Braves to make a run at the Mets in the division title, which I think, again, will go down the wire. All right, let's take a look at those MLB standings as we get into play tonight and analyze a little more what's going on because we're in the dog days of August. Let's take a look at the standings. Real brief, Wiz, your opinion on what's going on, division and wild card. First, the National League, we have that.
Yeah, Dodgers are running the 1 seed right now with a 5-game lead. Mets have the 2nd seed. Cardinals are running the NL Central, I believe, with a 5-game lead. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Cardinals are hot. Oh, 9-1. There you go. But the Braves are going to go back and forth with the Mets, as we said before. Phillies we saw this weekend. I think they have the versatility on offense to get it done, make a postseason run, especially with Bryce Harper coming back. He did a minor league stint tonight and hit a home run. So just like that, Harper's back. But I think Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee and San Diego will go to the end. Wild card weekend. The
National League wild card, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And again, Mets Braves to me, right now, really the only race left in the National League, and the wild card that expanded again, as we mentioned. National League, 3 spots like in the American League, and that's gonna come down to the wire. Take a look at the American League standings going into play tonight, Wiz.
Yeah, Houston's just like LA. They're running the 1 seed. They have a 3-game lead on the Yankees. As we said before, the Yankees have been struggling. They're looking to battle back just like that. Aaron Judge hit his 48th homer, traveled 453 feet tonight, just like that in the 3rd inning, I believe. They're up 1-0, the Yankees, over the Mets. Cleveland's running the AL Central right now. I believe they have a 2 or 3 game lead. Tampa's running the one spot for the AL wild card, and I believe Toronto and Seattle is going to go back and forth. I'd like to see Baltimore get in. Their over was 61.5 to start the season. They entered today beating that over. It was 63-58, and we have more than a month to go with this season. So shout out to the Orioles and what they're doing. I still
think, the Orioles are the surprise team in baseball, young and good. Some good rookies and good talent. Brandon Hyde may be manager of the year. Still watch the Phillies, to me. Up Bryce Harper on the way back. And the Blue Jays in the American League, especially if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets his home run track going in. Yeah, Aaron Judge again. Number 48, the fly ball to left. 95-mile sinker off John Walker. Should have been Jason DeGrom tonight. Met fans are asking me the last 2 days, why wasn't Jacob DeGrom on the mound tonight? Well, hell, I'm not the manager. I don't have the answer. Buck Showalter could only say last night, we're giving him some time. There's nothing wrong with him. The Mets are still being cautious with Jacob DeGrom.
I think overall it's a good decision by the Mets and Showalter to not pitch DeGrom tonight, because at the end of the day, 2 weeks from now, what will this game matter compared to the other 162, 161?
Exactly, right. The Yankees, the Mets,
he has to be healthy in October.
I know, but here's the counter on that, Wiz, is that Mets need this game more than the Yankees tonight, because they're fighting the Braves for the division title where you get that bye in the division, as the division leader in the playoffs. The Yankees have a comfortable still 8-game lead in the division. They'd like to win. They're fighting for home field advantage during this swoon with the Astros. I thought Jacob DeGrom should have kept his turn in the rotation and pitched tonight. Instead, you got to wait till Citi Field this weekend. And you got Tajon Walker with the bad back problem and missed the start, his last start. Well, we'll see how it results. Right now, 1-0 Yankees. Sports 8 done up. Cal will do that in a moment. Move on with Albert Pujols. We're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals and how they're making a run for a division title in the NL Central. But this guy last night, another home run, 42 years of age, setting records. 447 different pitcher a home run ball against 693 for the career. He says he's retiring. I don't believe that. If he doesn't get 700 this year, legitimately without steroids, PEDs, you think Albert Pujols is going to retire?
I still think he's going to retire. He's been saying the same thing for the whole season. But this guy, he's a storyline every night. He's at 693 homers. Post the All-Star break, he's batting .453 with 8 homers with a .500 on-base percentage. Obviously, he's not playing every night. He's a DH here and there. But
he's playing like a 20.
Come on. He's playing like a 20-year-old.
Like a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
You would never know that he's 42 years old, hitting home run balls all over the place. He's in a streaky home run hitter his entire career. And he's doing it now at the end of his career as he shoots for a record 700. I don't think he's retiring. I just don't think he's, whatever. All right, Joey Gallo and the Dodgers, best team in baseball. And he says the coaches have turned it around for him since leaving New York, change his scenery. He's averaging a hit a game right now in the Dodger lineup when he plays.
Yeah, like we were saying in that first show, the change of scenery during the deadline, that's all that matters for some of these guys. Since joining LA, he's gone .267 with 3 homers, 5 RBIs. If he was on the Yankees, that's all they would need from him right then and there. But that's just the way it goes with baseball.
And how about Tony La Russa, once again, White Sox manager? Time for him to retire, please. Again, 1-2 count. He likes to walk a hitter. Come on, Tony.
Yeah,
Analytics, man.
it's week by week. The fan base has been complaining. You hear it in the crowd night by night. It's not good, and they're still in second right now. So they're not even in the wild card or in the playoff hunt right now. So
No, but
they
that's
got to pick it
ridiculous.
up.
Walking a 1-2 count. You're walking the hitter.
It's been.
I'll never understand that. I don't know. All right. Fernando Tatis said today they apologized to his teammates about getting nailed for using PEDs for supposedly hair fungus. All right? Not hair fungus. Like, look, I got no hair. I don't have fungus anyway. Whatever. All right? Apologized to his team, and then he said during the suspension time away from the game for a year or more, he's going to get his shoulder surgery. So the hits keep coming with Fernando Tatis in the Padres.
Yeah, it's more of a hit to baseball in general. Every baseball fan base wants to see Tatis be playing, be healthy every day.
Yeah.
And so it's just tough when everyone got that news. It was just
and Jordan
was shocked.
Montgomery. I want to move along here with Jordan Montgomery, who's the talk of the Cardinals right now in baseball. And Brian Cashman didn't even address it yesterday. 4-0 since being traded over to the Cardinals. Yankee fans are sick over this, and I don't blame them. 4-0, a 0.35 ERA, one hit shutout last night. How do you explain Jordan Montgomery doing that? Really sticking it to the Yankees, isn't he?
Yeah, big time. Like we were saying with Gallo, one change of scenery, that's all it takes. And with the Cardinals, it seems like once they pick up a guy, they turn into an all-star. And with Montgomery, it's just like he's an ace with them right now, and that's what
unbelievable.
We're
and Steven Matz, Steven Matz is on his way back. A couple others on that injured Cardinals staff. Montgomery could be dangerous in October because I think the Cardinals are headed there, wild card or division in the NL Central, including the Brewers, who are not happy. And we'll talk to Cal about that later a little more. Our producer behind the scenes at the SLNG Network. Josh Hader traded, which is another move I'll never understand. And the Brewers are in second to the Cardinals in the division. All right? Cal is not happy. A lot of Brewers fans aren't happy in Milwaukee, and neither is their pitcher, Eric Laura, who said he doesn't understand this. The morale in the clubhouse isn't good. But he said they're developing for the future. They should be winning now. And that's a bad statement for management of the Milwaukee Brewers. Really bad statement.
Big time. For a team that's in the playoffs year by year, they have a top 3 pitching staff every season. And we saw it during the deadline. Devin Williams during the clubhouse interview. The whole clubhouse was down.
Well,
trade one of your best guys in a postseason stretch.
Jordan Montgomery. We talk about Montgomery. We could talk about you wonder what teams do at the trade deadline, what they do. It's hard to understand. We're not in the war rooms. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know. And what makes those decisions? Analytics, scouting reports. We don't know. I haven't been able to find out. Neither have you. No. Anyway, we'll get to Jason Schott in a moment. He's waiting in the queue for us. First, though, we're going to take a quick break. Before we do that, though, the fact of the week, here we go. You don't get the answer now, we'll give it to you later. The Wiz got it last week. After all these weeks, the Wiz finally got it. Didn't get the Aaron Judge bobblehead, but you can. Here is the fact of the week. You ready? Do we have a drum roll, Cal? I don't hear it.
I hear it.
I don't hear
it.
I don't, because I'm deaf. Cal, who's coming in.
He was in.
I hear it now. I hear it now. All right. Fact of the week. And remember, not trivia, fact of the week. It deals with the NFL. Talk about that later. Season is almost here, believe it or not. How many players, and this is a fact, in a category of playing more than 300 games, they played 300 games, right? Were never a punter. Now, I can tell you there were three names. This is not trivia. It's a fact. There are 3 names in this category in the NFL in the history. 300 games they played, but never punted a ball. They were never punted. All the others have been in there to be a punter at one time or another. So I gave you a hint on the fact there were 3 of them. Try and come up with that. Let us know. Oh, get the fact of the week. Not the Wiz gets it. Don't get the bobblehead. You get it. You get the bobblehead. Let us know in the cube. Jason Shots coming up. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's the Wiz Robert Rizzo. Like, comment, subscribe here on the SLG Network, Sports with Rich. Back in a moment, folks. Stay with us. Jason Shot right on the other side.
Doing bad, they gon' love you. Yeah. Doing good, they gon' hate you. Yeah. Look down on your come up, but to the hustle, stay faithful. Big goals by the rate full. Drip everywhere, that's wasteful. Accent color, that's tasteful. We front and center at the tape. Got 3-5 in my blunt. Yeah. 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck. Yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling that. They feeling it. They feeling it. Show her in the truck. Then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling that. She feeling that. She feeling that. Niggas talking tough, yeah, till we pulling up. Now he feeling that. He feeling that. He feeling that. Save me a gold casket. My life been tragic. Yeah. Good gas and blunts pass. Blow out a nigga head gaskets. Fuck boys don't need them. Yo bitch crazy, better keep her. Yo niggas high when it's time to ride, but I bet that bitch start squeezing. Smoke sessions in the evening. Private chef and we eat it. It's a long way from voyeur to 4 years in Lamborghinis. Move different, can't see me. Only pictures ain't on TV. Tribe meetings and vibe readings. These space race like E.T. We had roaches in the kitchen. Now it's rooms in the villa. Took the cards I was dealt, flipped them. I'm the one who do the dealing. Did so much of my own, baby, I don't give a fuck about feelings. Everybody got a lot to say, but ain't nobody came with it. Fuck it, I spin it. Had it, I lent it. Trusted some niggas, now I regret it. I can forgive it, never forget it. Niggas still out there, I ain't gon' get it. Yeah, this is it, I can't slow up. Niggas muddy from the pole up. Big sauce like a cold cut, you either hoe up or you gon' blow up. Got 3-5 in my blunt, 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck, yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling it. They feeling it. They feeling it. Show her in the truck, then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling it. She feeling it. She feeling it. Niggas talking tough, yeah, till we pulling up. Now he feeling it. He feeling it. He feeling it. Where the ghost mean power, you a star, Omari Hardwick. Seen a lot of hardships. We was taking long trips, talking through the glass. Gotta medicate with strong hits of ganja. Gotta watch how people move around you. My brother got sittings cause of snitch. Niggas dying over bitches. Niggas lie like it's religion. If you been dying, you feel me. Gotta keep applying pressure. Double up, that boy can stretch it. Good credit or no credit, they need it, go get it. Lil' baby, this is me. What you get is what you see. And you best believe we wore red. Got 3-5 in my blunt, 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck, yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling it. They feeling it. They feeling it. Show her in the truck, then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling it. She feeling it. She feeling it. Niggas talking tough, yeah, till we pulling up. Now he feeling it. He feeling it. He feeling it.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Oh,
Doing good.
Wait a minute, Wiz. Wait a minute. Wiz.
Hello?
Wiz.
All right.
You got to intro the show coming out of a break. You know better than that.
I was waiting, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. Take over. Go ahead. You're the Wiz. That's Jason Shot, Brooklyn Digest. He's at Yankee Stadium. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can tell by the magazine covers behind me.
Oh, yeah. But we're here with Jason Shot.
I can hear the feedback. Yeah.
We're here with Jason Shot from Brooklyn Digest, journalist. Thank you for joining us. You're from
I can't take this no more.
My pleasure, Robert. Good seeing you, Rich.
Sorry, Jason.
Rich has been everywhere tonight, ever since the Boone press conference. But
that was like Rich the other night at the game last week. You know,
exactly.
He's getting a taste of what he's giving the listeners a taste of what it's like to be with him in the booth.
But you're at Yankee Stadium, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Brooklyn Digest, SLG Network, Sports with Rich, and of course that's Wiz Robert Rizzo, who's going to host this show soon again. I'm taking some time off again soon, probably with you, and you know, then you can have a nice coffee with him. But let's jump into it right now. You're there at Yankee Stadium. You're in the workroom where it's a little more quiet. But the Mets are having difficulty with the Yankees tonight. Again, I see it's 2-0 right now.
Yeah,
What's
it's been
going
a
on
strange
there?
game. I mean, the Mets had 2 runners on each in the first and second. Montes escaped, and then he breezed through the third and fourth innings. They're tired 5 in a row at one point, and then in the bottom of the fourth, the Yankees broke the ice. Aaron Judge hit a monster home run for his 48th of the year, and then they got a second run on a single after that. And now the Mets are rallying here in the fifth, but it's still 2-0 Yankees.
What's the energy?
Which means
like
the Yankees will
stadium?
win because and Judge hit a home run. That's the energy, which means the Yankees will win this game. They're back.
Yeah, number
The
48.
swoon's over.
Yeah,
Their
it's possible.
swoon is over. They scored first. Judge hit a home run. They're back.
Yeah. You can tell they were definitely motivated for these
Jay.
2 games. I mean, look what they did to Scherzer last night, you know?
What did you hear about Scherzer? Why didn't... Yeah, Scherzer wasn't overpowering. We both saw that up close up front there in Yankee Stadium. Jay, what did you hear about DeGrom? What the answer we got was that Jacob DeGrom was not starting this game tonight to give them, they're still being cautious. They're not rushing him. They're waiting for saving him for October. Do you think that was a good move tonight?
I think they just didn't want to pitch him normal rest 2 in a row and use these days off to their advantage, that he can go Thursday against Colorado, which would be a full week off. Then they have next Monday off, so he can go then next Wednesday against the Dodgers. And I guess, who knows? I mean, he's been in some pretty high-pressure games already. Maybe push those pitch counts a little bit.
What's going on? Because we're in real time.
It's a 2-1 Yanks now, and the Mets just had a runner throw out the plate. So this could go down to the wire tonight, that's for sure. But I thought the Mets, going back to DeGrom and Walker, I like the move to not go DeGrom tonight for that reason. Be cautious, see, how things will go. And Walker's pitched here a ton for Toronto years ago. So, I mean, it's almost like this is not a big deal for him to pitch at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it showed tonight. He looked comfortable in the first inning, but once Judge got to him, and I believe it was the third inning, and that was Judge's 4th home run off Taijuan Walker in his career. So he hits him well.
It was the 4th, actually. He breezed through the Yankee order the first time, 9 up, 9 down on like 30 pitches. And then in the 4th, you try going to that Yankee lineup twice. Benintendi single to start. Then he got a double play, and then the Judge home run. So,
what are your thoughts on Benintendi so far?
On who, Robert?
Benintendi.
Mixed. I think he's closer to what he is than what the Yankees think he is, if that makes sense. I don't think he's this superstar ball player. I think he's a solid player. He's a good guy, get on base, and he hasn't even been that. Now he's starting to be like that. So hopefully he can be kind of like what the Yankees want. But don't think there's the second coming of, like, to use another Red Sox who came here and they tried to present it as such, Johnny Damon. He's not Johnny Damon too.
Yeah, you see.
But Jay, that Yankee bat, that's a good point. But the bottom of that Yankees batting order again. Now, Gleyber Torres, and I got someone sitting here with me tonight who's a Yankee fan who loves Gleyber Torres. Okay. Gleyber Torres has never developed into this player that the Yankees said he would be, except for the 1 year he hit 38 home runs. I think it's time that Gleyber, after this season, I don't see Gleyber becoming anything. It's time to get something back for him. He's got to go.
Yeah, because you can get a lot back from him. This will not be a Gary Sanchez-like situation where that was a trade they had to take back, a bad contract in Donaldson to get rid of him. They can get something back for Torres if they were to put him on the market. So that's a good call, Rich.
Jason Shop, Brooklyn Digest, guest Sports with Rich, and that's the Wiz Robert Rizzo, who's here with me every week as my young and able protege and co-host. And Jason, back to the Subway Series. 4 games, not 6. Scherzer wasn't overpowering last night. The Mets did the Yankees. They took care of business twice at Citi Field in July, and that was really the beginning of this Yankee swoon.
And the beginning of the Mets surge.
A little before. In the Mets surge. The Mets don't win this tonight, and then they're coming home to play the Rockies, and then they have the Dodgers. Do you think this might be a Met team that starts to go on a downslide as well? And the
No, I
Braves
don't.
will eye them for the division?
I don't think so. I think this was a rare case that the Yankees were the ones, the onus was on them to show they could beat the Mets. And frankly, to show they could beat a winning team. You look at the Yankee records against winning teams, it is not good. So the Yankees were the ones with the pressure. You can't say that much when these two get together, that the pressure is on the Yankees. So I think the Mets, let's put it this way. Thank God they have Colorado after this thing, get a nice 3, hopefully 4 wins out of that. And then the Dodgers next week. That's going to be a real test. The Mets got to win at least 2 of those games to really show, that basically they are on par with the Dodgers, or else people are going to start saying, yeah, Dodgers, and then maybe the only other contender they could worry about is the Braves, or else, it's going to be hard to think the Dodgers, anybody will beat them,
Yeah, it seems
What did
like
you
that
make?
every night with the Dodgers. But with the Mets and Braves going back and forth, it's a 2-game lead right now. Do you think it's going to go on to the end of the season, the last weekend?
I think the Mets have a very easy September, and the Mets have never buckled. They've not given up this lead at all. The closest they came was when it got down to a half a game on July 23rd, and then within 2 weeks they built that up to 7. Coming into tonight, it was 3. If they go on to lose tonight, and if they beat Pittsburgh, which is likely, it's Atlanta, Pittsburgh, then it would go back to 2. So you got to still look reference point, half a game a month ago today. So it really hasn't gone back and forth in the sense the Mets have never buckled yet. They've held first the whole way. They would be a wire-to-wire teim if they win this division.
No. Yeah, by the way, Jason, the judge is in the chambers tonight, the real judge. Judge Sotomayor, the Supreme Court Justice in the Bronx. She's in the judge's chamber. Well, I don't know why. I paid my taxes.
You got the unpaid parking tickets from 1986.
No, I'm sorry. What type of investigative reporter are you? Jason Shot, Brooklyn Digest might be a last shot on this program, but I don't know. Jay, do you like the Subway Series? I don't like it. I don't like covering it. To me, it doesn't mean nothing to me no more, except that it's the 2 New York teams. Doesn't like the Nets and Knicks when they play, it doesn't have the buzz. Giants, Islanders, Rangers,
Those mean a lot more because they're in the same division. When you get to Mets, Yankees, or Giants, Jets, it really doesn't matter as much because they're not in the same division. The thing I was thinking about that is that it used to be 6 games. I think from a business standpoint, I understand where the league cut this down to 4. You basically threw away 2 sellouts.
Well, I'm not complaining about it because let's say there was a rain out last night or tonight. Right. Off day tomorrow would have been a real predicament. Play doubleheader tomorrow, Yankees have a trouble day. Wouldn't have done it. They'd have to find a day gap in the schedule. Years ago, when this all started, up until even 10 years ago, I remember well. I covered them all. They had 3-night doubleheaders. We went from one ballpark to another. The media had a press escort. We had an escort from the NYPD going across the Triborough Bridge to get from Yankee or to Shea or whatever. Doubleheaders like that, they had no other choice. They had to do it that way. Until the play has made us interesting. Look, I don't like it because it takes away from games in your division. The schedule changes next year, so it's not going to really matter that much anymore. Every team's going to play every team at least once. How they're doing that, I don't know, but they're going to do it. But it still has a buzz in the ballpark. Last night at Yankee, at City last month, and last night at Yankee, 46,000 fans. Biggest sellout of the largest crowd of the year, sellout in Yankee Stadium. I'm assuming it's that large tonight as well.
Oh, absolutely. There's not.
So the fans love it because it's the bragging right.
They were in it from the first.
I don't like it. It's extra work for us, but that's what we get paid to do. But I just don't like it, and I think it's just too much pressure on these 2 teams.
In a way, it is, because I think the only other comparable situation is maybe Chicago. I don't even think the Angels-Dodgers is that big a deal anymore. So you're right; they have to put so much into these games that it's naturally may have a letdown coming out of it. Both clubs might, especially the Yankees going out to Oakland where they don't play that well, and then you're going to go from this atmosphere to 2,000 people sitting out there.
Yeah, that's a big difference, and they brought it up on the broadcast before. About Frankie Montez.
Oh, yeah.
He was pitching in Oakland in front of 3,000 people, and now he's pitching in front of 48,000 in the Bronx. So
Yeah.
I believe he's on his fourth night. So what have you seen out of Montez tonight compared to his last few starts?
Basically, he was able to get out of the big jams early. That the Mets
twice,
the
first and second inning, yeah.
Yeah, and the crowd was really into it in the first. They could sense already. You had Pete Alonso up with 2 on and 1 out. That if he cracked one and the Mets go 3-0, and then it could have spiraled. It could turn into a 5 or 6 run inning, like the Jays got on him last week. It's already game over, and he got out of it. He got to hit a foul pop in front of the Yankee dugout. Anthony Rizzo, your cousin now, Robert. He made a great play in front of the dugout, and then he struck out Vogelback. And then in the second, they got 2 on, and he got a double play. And then he struck out the next 6 guys. So I think
you know why, Jay? The Yankees win this one tonight. Not only is Aaron Boone saved, I didn't think his job was in jeopardy anyway. More so, Brian Cashman, I believe, has more going in. And what he said yesterday would back up what he said about fixing the online situation compared it to the internet when you have an issue, which I thought was clever. It's comment. But also, it will show that the Yankees are not in this line anymore. That they've beaten the respect of the second best team in baseball, the Mets, cross town. It's going to be a big confidence momentum builder for the Yankees. And for the Mets, on the other hand, then they come play the Rockies after all this hype again in the Bronx, they could go into a swoon. Let's face it, no Carrasco. Walker, to me, still not 100% healthy.
Right.
So, no DeGrom tonight, to me, I thought still was a mistake. Scherzer wasn't overpowering last night. David Peterson is going to pitch one of the games this week. The Mets have a starting rotation problem, whether fans want to hear that or not.
Right, and then you look after it's all about the Dodgers, because then after that they get the Nationals coming in, and then I don't believe they came on. They're done with the Phillies already. They only go down to Atlanta one more time.
They own the Phillies. I can't believe how they own them this year.
14-5.
What was it, Wiz? What was the record this year against the Phillies?
Jason said 14-5, and I believe it was 43-19 against NL East opponents.
Exactly. That will win games because the Mets have been getting everything in the division. But this guy Aaron Boone, what did you make of Aaron Boone the other day? I had to do something to spark this team, and I thought he did. We never saw this in Aaron Boone with that.
No,
it wasn't panic. He's just frustrated, tired of answering the same thing. I mean, he's not hitting the ball. He's not pitching on the mound. He's got 25 players that Brian Cashman gave him, put this team together, and they're not doing the job. Okay? So naturally, he's frustrated by my colleagues, your colleagues, the Wizards colleagues now asking the same damn questions all the time. What has to be done to fix this? So he went off. And I thought that was clever. I thought it was funny. But I thought it was clever.
And it was clever when he did it, because they had lost the first 3. Odds were they're going to win Sunday anyway. So he makes it look as if I pounded the table, we can't beat the Jays. And then knowing this is the Yankees, and it was like, we're going to reassert ourselves, and we're going to show we're the Yankees. We have a lot of pride. We're not going to let the Mets come in here and to us what they did in Queens a month ago. We're going to come out and win these games. So he picked the right time to do it, which to me it felt almost – he could have said that speech any time. He knew when to say it. You know what I mean? It wasn't completely spontaneous, in my opinion.
And on a similar standpoint with Boone, the next day, it was like 12 hours later, Judge got hit in the elbow against Alex Manoah, all-star type of pitcher. And first guy out, Garrett Cole out of the dugout. And he's arguing, talking a bunch. But what do you think of that interaction? I honestly believe it was to light a fire under the team, just like Boone did.
Yeah, I think so, and I think Judge was smart to not pursue it. I think he realized, okay, I got a guy as big as me on the mound, and we're just going to talk it out and say, look, don't come in on me again. And he was like, okay, we don't want any suspensions out of this. But you're right, to see Garrett Cole lead the charge, that was interesting, very interesting.
Things like that will get a team going. Fans want to see that. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to see brawls up in the press box. You know that. Sometimes I feel like going down there and using my boxing skills too. The end of the
I was here for the one against the White Sox back in May. That was wild.
Yeah. But things like that will ignite a team. I've seen it many times. I've seen it with the Mets over the years. I've seen it with the Yankees too here in New York. I've seen it with the Dodgers. I've seen it with the Astros, as good as they've been, cheaters or not. All right? I've seen it with the lowly Nats now. You know, and then they'll revert back to their old ways. That's not going to happen with the Yankees and the Mets.
Right.
But I thought that was clever by Aaron Boone to get something going. Remember Brett Gardner's antics in the dugout?
Yeah.
Where he take the bat and he put a dent in the dugout roof?
Yeah.
Brett Gardner, okay?
Yeah.
There's an example of it. He's frustrated. His teammates never faulted that. And you could tell that this Yankee team loved their manager doing what he did.
It was a form of like a few years ago when Boone had that rant against that umpire, and they were playing the first game of a doubleheader on a Thursday in front of maybe 4,000 people, and that microphone picked up everything he said. The Savages in the box, you know,
Yes.
and it's probably the first time people heard him curse. Also, he cursed at the umpire. It was like, whoa, this is they couldn't make T-shirts quick enough.
That's wrong with
him.
Yeah,
he's having a good. Aaron Boone is having a lot of, with umpires. He leads Major League managers in ejections the last 2 years.
I don't know if Buck's been ejected this year. Come to think of it,
no, I don't.
No, he's not going to because Buck is. You don't know, sorry, Buck is a gentleman. You know, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? Someone love my door. That's whatever. So someone take it around myself for an extra. I can never understand the man. I have to put my phone where we get our audios now up close. I can't understand a word he says, but that's not to fault what he's done with this Mets team, because the players love him. We talked about this last week, Wiz and I. The players love him, and we see that on the field before a game. And you could tell in the Met clubhouse, even after that loss last night, I was in that clubhouse. It was quiet. I wrote about that. But Lindor made the perfect comment to me just passing by. No one asked him. I did, because a lot of my colleagues don't do that. I do. It's just we'll get the Yankees tomorrow. And
nice.
Andrew Jones used to say that to me a lot. A lot of players will say that, and that comes from the manager's mentality that we basically hear. We never do, and the fans don't see that. Okay. So we only can report what we get out of that clubhouse after the game. And Buck Showalter is a major reason why the New York Mets are where they are.
Absolutely. And you can see one thing to watch for when watching a Met game. After a guy like let's say Alonso gets it, just strikes out, whatever, he'll be going back. He'll tell his teammates what he saw in that at bat to watch out for. You don't really see other teams do that, where the guy go back, have about a 30-second conversation with the next hitter or the guy just entering the on deck circle. And then also constantly see Lindor talking to Buck. I mean, it's remarkable stuff considering Buck
all the time.
By so
Louis Rojas, you never saw Louis Rojas doing that. Louis and I love him. We have a great rapport. I spoke to him before the game the other night at Yankee Stadium, and it's always good to see Louis. He tends to get runners to go, pass him more often. He gives a signal, go home too often. Louis says he doesn't want to. He really enjoys where he's at. His name is coming up in a lot of vacant managerial spots right now. And I asked him about this current Mets team. And he was very honest with me. He said, Rich, they had it. They made a few additions, and that's why they were here. And he has no animosity towards the team or the organization, especially now with the Subway Series. Much different. But then I said to him, do you feel that you weren't managerial type here in New York? And you know what? He didn't get insulted. He said to me, I learned. It was a great learning experience. And of course, that was a comment. Yeah.
One of his 2 years, of course, was the pandemic year 2 years ago. So, I mean, my God, if you can manage a team through that, you can survive anything,
Yeah,
right.
I can't imagine 60 games, and we bring it up every week. All these young prospects coming up, their developmental window got all screwed up in 2020.
Absolutely.
And leading to the lockout 2 years later. So, that's just a random point. But back to the Yankees and Mets. With the Yankees especially, Harrison Bader's been the talk of the town because the other guy in the trade, Jordan Montgomery has been Cy Young-like the last 4 outings with St. Louis Cardinals. Did you think that was going to happen with Montgomery becoming the next Cy Young in the last 4 outings? Because he's been dominant.
Yes and no. I wouldn't have said it based on how he pitched here, but where they sent him, I would have said yes. That team, going back to when it was La Russa and Dave Duncan, they get pitchers. I mean, they did it 20 years ago when they got Jeff Weaver out of here. They turned him back into a 15, 20-game winner. So basically, it's who they sent him to. If they sent him to Oakland for Frankie Montas, he probably continues what he was doing here, So they sent him to St. Louis. I mean, what a blessing that he ended up on that team for him. So, I don't think Yankee fans are just. I think Yankee fans are probably personally happy for him, but it just adds up the animosity against Cashman for what's viewed right now as a pretty stupid trade.
All right. Jason Schott, Brooklyn Digest, coming to the top of the hour here at Sports Rich, 9 p.m. Eastern, nationwide, worldwide, on the SLG network. Jason, before I let you go, how do you see the season winding down with 36 games or so left? 4 more weeks, maybe 5. Where do the Yankees end up, in your opinion, based on what you're seeing and hearing and reporting? Where do the Mets stand when this is over?
The Yanks probably win the division, but I think it will get down to 5 by Labor Day still, because they go on the West Coast after this. But I don't think it's going to get closer to that. I think Toronto and Tampa missed their chance to really make some massive ground up. I mean, they could have made up ground like Atlanta made up on the Mets, where Atlanta shaved 8 games off in a month, and then wait.
So what's going on? We're live. This is real time. I hear something going on with the Mets because I got SNY. I'm watching the SNY feed and I hear Gary Cohen screaming. So is it now 2? Is now 2-2?
2 up. Yeah, in the 6th.
All right. So everyone watching, if you're watching us, and I hope you are, you're probably not. You're watching a game, and you know that the Mets have tied the Yankees now 2-2. And so they're back in. They were not in it, but we have a 2-2 game, which is it's a new game. I hear the crowd where you are, and that workroom is adjacent to what's going on outside in the press box.
It's bleeding through the door.
I hear it.
Exactly.
And that again shows you the enthusiasm the fans have for this series.
Right. So let's not get off track too much. So the Yanks, I think they'll win the division.
I got to get you off track because I got to get rid of you. I got to go. But go ahead.
Okay, quick. I think the Yankees, they're not making the World Series. I think they go in the division or the ALCS to Houston, and then the Mets. I think the Mets may be the same. I think, but otherwise, if they were going to be a New York team in the World Series, I'd say the Mets.
Well, let's just say this. Aaron Boone will still have a job. Brian Cashman will still be the general manager. And I don't know if Jacob DeGrom is going to pitch in his next start. Who knows what they're thinking. And Buck Showalter will still be and Jason Schott, you'll always be with us, my friend. Thanks.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much,
Thank you,
guys.
Jason.
Get ready, Jay, because we got you planned for maybe doing some more on the show in the weeks to come.
Looking
you might be
forward
sitting
to it.
in for me soon with the Wiz, which will be an experience. It really will. And believe me, it's going to be an experience. I can just see you two together. You have the iced coffee ready for you. That's all I can tell you. All right.
Oh,
We'll make it happen.
Robert, we'd have it in the press box.
Exactly.
Jay,
you know my idea.
Jay, we're on till 10. Yeah, 10:15. We're on. If anything breaks, just text us, or put it in the cube on the show. Much appreciated, my friend. Always. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Keep it a ring, Jay.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Schott, live Wiz from Yankee Stadium. The update, great information from him. He writes for Brooklyn Digest. We want to thank him again. Good friend of the program here. Sports with Rich. Right, Wiz. More baseball to come. We got NFL. We got Nobody Beats the Wiz. Fact of the Week answer. Much more. Keep it in the ring. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to a fighter that we know real well. Just came off a win on the Bella Boxing Show. A lot of boxing news. I got wrestling news. Let's bring in Cal. We haven't talked to him yet tonight. Real quick. Cal's going to give us a little brief sports update, and we'll go to another brief break. Come back. We'll keep it in the ring and talk to again. Cal, your thought on the Milwaukee Brewers briefly? What's happened with Josh Jader's comment, because you're out there?
The Brewers front office is kind of like a cheating ex, where they say that they're intending to do something and then they just lie and do the opposite. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing.
Coming from a fan's perspective. Look, Cal, you know what? Deep down, come down to it, you're a sports fan. You're a Milwaukee fan. You're a Brewer fan. Yeah. You're going to talk like a Yankee fan in New York, a Met fan in New York, a Packer fan in Green Bay, wherever you are. I don't know where you are, but I know that you're a fan, and you're going to talk that way. I thought that was interesting. All right, Cal, more to come. He's a producer of our show here on the SLG Network. You're going to give us a brief sports update, some of the scores, with some enthusiasm, I hope.
With some spunk.
Some spunk.
There we go. I got you.
And then we'll take a brief break and come back with Keep It in the Ring. It's all yours, Cal. Sports with Rich, SLG Network Live. Rich Mancuso, the Wiz Robert Rizzo. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the network and my channel, Rich Mancuso on YouTube. All right, Cal, it's all yours.
We'll see you soon. All righty. Robert, a break from the show. Here are your sports updates as follows. We have the doubleheader today between the Cardinals and the Cubs. Cubs took the first one 2-0, and now the Cardinals bounced back in the second one. They currently have 3-0, top of the fourth. Those red hot Cardinals. We have the Mets and Yankees, like they heard from Jason, top of the sixth, tied 2-2. We have the Brewers and Dodgers will be starting at 9:10 Central Time tonight. Currently, we have the Diamondbacks and Royals tied up. Blue Jays and the Red Sox. The Blue Jays are up 2-1. The Rays are up on the Angels 3-1. And the Phillies and the Reds are tied at 3 apiece. That's your sports update. We'll see you guys on the opposite side of the break. My name is Calvin Camerath. We will see you guys soon.
What's good, everybody? My name is Caleb from the Bayou City Boys over here on the SLG Network. Happy to announce that we are now working with Dano's Seasoning. So if you're anything like me, you meal prep all the time, Dano's is the way to go, man. They got multiple flavors. Hit them up. Be sure to use our code SLG Network. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Peace.
Spending money like it's nothing. I don't have a budget. Please don't get offended when you see the kids stunting. Got my queens with me, but it ain't no Scarborough bluffing. See, I'm riding solo while dependent bitches cuffing. I got all I need, me, myself, and I just love it. I've been gone.
Doing bad, they gon' love you. Yeah. Doing good, they gon' hate you. Yeah. Look down on your come up, but to the hustle, stay faithful. Big goals by the rate full. Drip everywhere, that's wasteful. Accent color, that's tasteful. We front and center at the tape. Got 3-5 in my blunt. Yeah. 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck. Yeah.
Whoops. Let me take that out of my mouth.
A little quick.
It wasn't, but it wasn't lit though.
Caught you red-handed, but
it wasn't lit.
We're back.
It wasn't lit. I know we're back, and thank you, Cal, with the update. Thanks, Jason Schott. We're having fun tonight. Sports with Rich live on the SLG Network, worldwide, nationwide. 8 p.m. live here on SLG and YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate that on the network. And we are going to keep it in the ring. Is Dario with us in the cube? Is he there?
He's here.
Hey.
Well, there he is. Let me welcome in Sports with Rich. This is Dario Guerrero, 29-year-old. And out in Long Beach, California. Pleasure to know this young man. Harvard educated, Harvard University, pro fighter. We met him at the Bella Boxing Show, Riz. He's been in constant touch with us, watches our program. Get a little update what he's done. He's coming off a nice win at the American Dream on the Bella Boxing Show just a couple of weeks ago. Stopped Jade Ivory, and that was an exciting fight. You can see it on the Bella Boxing feed on YouTube and so forth. So, Dario, update us. What's going on with you out there in Long Beach? You training, getting ready for another one soon?
Yeah, actually, I was just on my way home from sparring. So I didn't make it in time, so I pulled off on the side here, but I'm not far, you know. I'm happy to be on the show, and like you said, yeah, getting ready for the next one.
Now, Dario, have you been watching some of the fights going on? You're of Mexican-American descent.
Yeah.
And the guy we're going to talk about, Omar Figueroa, in a moment. There's another Mexican-American fighter who said he retired as he upset Lipinets upset him. And Figueroa said he'd been dealing with mental issues. That's becoming a thing with fighters now. A lot of them are coming out saying they've been mentally strapped. There's been some mental illness issues with fighters. And from your perspective as a pro fighter yourself, what are your thoughts about that? Do fighters, why are they doing that? And why are they coming out like now? Is it because it's for help and mental awareness for many? Or is it because there's been something they've been holding in? And is that an issue with pro fighters, especially you're in the game?
Yeah, one thing I have seen recently, especially coming out of the Olympic committees, is there's a lot of mental abuse, mental health issues, and a lot of issues that we just really haven't been aware of over the years. So, I hesitate from belittling a fighter who has mental health issues, but whenever I have feelings like that, I try to remind myself, like, these aren't 15, 45-round fights like they used to be back in the day. I think I can tough this one out. And to date, that has helped me over, although, I'll knock on wood.
Well, you can deal with it. A lot of others can't. I mean, and then come out with it. And we saw that with Teofimo Lopez in the last few weeks. 2 weeks ago with Danny Garcia. They both won their fights they had to win. And now we get another one now with Omar Figueroa Jr., Adrian Broner, but then he's been a problem case all his career anyway. Finally opened up that he has a mental illness. It is a tough game. It is mental to be a fighter. There's a lot of pressure on guys like you. How do you deal with that?
A key thing is always finding the things that inspire me, that the things for which I fight. And a big part of that for me is, family, friends, the things I care about. So I always try to ground myself in that and then move forward, or punch away, so to speak. But you always got to have something to root you, I think.
Real important, Wiz. That's a great answer. Yep.
Great answer. Thank you for joining the show, Dario. My first question, immediately once I met you, I caught interest in your education and the way you go about yourself, as we know through that answer. So bring us to light and explain to the audience about your Harvard education, what you're interested in, other than boxing.
Yeah, so I graduated from Harvard College in 2016. I studied filmmaking because philosophy and trying to be a lawyer was too difficult for me. So, I went the art route. I still have that passion coursing through my veins, but boxing is something that I've had with me since I was pretty much in high school, and it's been hard to let go of. So, pretty much this year I decided to take it to the next step and turn professional. Started fighting. It has been, as you're saying, Rich, it is a tough sport. But thankfully, I met you guys on the upswing, and we'll see where it takes us from there.
So getting the fight is also half the battle, and you're managing yourself basically. So to get a fight, you have to do all the homework, and you have to do the preparation. You got to make the phone calls, and that means contacts in the industry. I'm glad that I've been able to help you out a little bit to try and move your career. Do you feel at 29 years of age that it might be too late to get a start, to get yourself rated? Not to demean you, you have the skill.
Yeah,
of course. I'm saying this because I know you. You're a talented fighter. I saw it. You also come back with a good amateur background. You're 1-2-1. You're coming off a win that was a battle with Jade Ivory on the Abella show. How soon do you need to get back in the ring now to keep this momentum going? That's important for a fighter.
I guess one thing that I do credit Harvard with is giving me the tools with which to do research and to let my curiosity run free. So as I'm learning the ways of the fight game, one thing I tend to do is I'll look at fighters' records, and I'll look at when they fought, the calendar dates of the fights, the opponents, their records, how the fights ended. Did anybody go down? Was there a knockout? And based off of that, I'm trying to get an idea of like how often it is safe to fight. So now what I feel is like if you don't take any damage, maybe 3-4 weeks, you can get back in there. As of right now, I feel great. It was a tough fight with Jade Ivory, so a lot of that damage finally went away. I feel in perfect condition. I think I could fight this weekend. Hopefully.
Wiz, do we have a photo of the fight or a video of it? Were we able to get it?
Yeah, we have a photo of Dario from the Abella show. That's us after the fight.
Oh, that's after the fight. Yeah. Who the hell wants to see us? I wanted to see him in the ring. Do we have it?
I don't believe so. Maybe we do.
We were not able to get that photo.
That's all right. It's better to see Dario this way anyway. He's more good looking than me. Dario Marrero, pro fighter 121, 29 years old, Harvard educated grad, which is a great story in itself. Coming off a win at the Abella boxing show a few weeks ago in East Rutherford at the American Dream. So Dario, 4-rounders, 6-rounders right now for you until you can build this up more, right?
Yeah, 4 or 6. I feel ready for that.
How do you train? Go ahead.
It sounded like it from before in your previous answers, but would you consider yourself a student of the game, the way you go about yourself? And growing up, you said you started in high school boxing. So growing up and to now, who have been your favorite fighters?
Oh, man. The earliest fighters I can remember watching are Emmanuel Augustus, Prince Nassim, Roy Jones, very flashy. Like, how in the world did they do that? And that's what really attracted me to the sport of boxing. Another big one, Jorge Paez from Mexicali.
The clown, yeah.
People who could turn the rules on their head, so to speak. So that's been my inspiration throughout the years. Now, as I guess I become a little more mature in the game, I really respect fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson, Julio Cesar Chavez. Just fighters where I can look at them and be like, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. Try to do it like that.
Well, those are great names in men's boxing history that you've just mentioned. And welterweight division and junior welter, middleweight, boxing history Hall of Famers. So those are tremendous names and fighters that you could look up to and not copy their style, but try and get to that point where you can achieve some fame like them a little bit. Look, 29 years old as a pro, you can take it. It's still relatively young. Some guys turn pro when they're 35. We came out of Philadelphia the past few days seeing a fighter, Ray Robinson. Comes up the name of the great Sugar Ray Robinson, the former champion Hall of Famer, the late Sugar Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson is 36 years old. He started his career when he was 34. And he's had some big fights at that age. So it's never too late. As long as you can do it, do it. As long as you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah, I think the very same Robinson was. I think he won the middleweight title back at 39. I think for the final time.
Your history, see, that's another thing. You're a student of the game, and I like that. I like that a lot. And the Wiz right there, Robert Rizzo, he's becoming a student of the game. He's reading up on the history. Because I love this sport, you got to know the history of it as well, and you're doing it. All right, so Dario, anything else? I know I'm trying to help you. We're hearing some buzz. When do you want to get back in the ring? You say as soon as possible. And now that period's coming now. So what are you looking at?
Realistically, in the next 2 weeks, wherever that may be, if it's a fight at 160 and up, or 159 and up, I'm there.
And we talked.
Well, you don't want it. Yeah.
We talked about it during the show when we first met, but you kind of feed off that energy being the underdog with the crowd and everything. You're always traveling. You're on the B side a lot for the fights. So how do you go in and how do you enter with that mindset, fight by fight, that you're the underdog and most of the fans don't want you to win?
Well, a big question that I've been trying to answer by fighting is, can I legitimately fight? And I think this is the only way to figure that out.
Well, that's right. The only way you know that is you. And I think you can fight. I saw it. I've shown people that fight. I've shown many. Your first fight, when you have on YouTube, you fought on a PBC undercard in San Antonio not too long ago. And even to be on a PBC card, whether you're an opponent or not, that means they saw something in you. So, just all I got to say is, and I could tell this to aspiring fighters, I'm sure you can as well. You want to do it, live your dream and do it, and take it as it comes. Just be careful and protect yourself, because we all know boxing can be a dirty game, as you know. Dario, and 29 years old, Harvard grad, and you're fighting at 154 now, 160?
160.
Right? And you're able to keep the weight. And we hope to see you in the ring real soon again, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Hope to see you guys in person as well.
Well, you'll be here. You'll be here, guarantee that. You'll be here, and we look forward to having you, hosting you, and seeing you in the ring again real soon. Yep. You've also got a background in film. That's what you majored in at Harvard. So you'd fit right in here with the Wiz on keeping the ring.
Oh, entertainment is my blood.
Yeah.
Get it going.
All right, hell yeah.
Dario.
Okay.
Stay tough,
Thank you,
stay
Dario.
strong, be well. I'll be in touch. Keep it in the ring. Hey, Wiz, Dario Marrero. We know him well. We wish him well. And that was great stuff for the few minutes we had him on.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
Harvard educated. That's what I love. He's Harvard educated. Now, how many fighters can say that they're fighting professionally as a Harvard University grad? That's a great story in itself. We've done it. We've seen it.
He's got a
and
great
we'll have him
mindset
on
from the
again.
jump.
He does. Exactly. You just said it, Wiz. He's got a better mindset than me, too. Gotta say that. Better mindset. Talks well, and he's got a future. Whether it be a fighter, filmmaker, he gets to me every time I talk to him. So anyway, more keep it in the ring. And here we go. We did go to Philadelphia. We saw some good fighters. We watched, thanks to Luis Cortez, our buddy down there who writes for a couple of boxing sites, websites, and got to see some Philadelphia boxing gyms. I haven't done that in a while. And most of all, got to talk with welterweight contender Gerald Boots Ennis. Gave us a few minutes, waiting for his next shot. He's in the title mix at 147. And Tariq Smalls, his nephew's fighting on a card in Trenton, New Jersey. He's a lightweight, I believe, or 140, fighting this Friday night in Trenton, New Jersey. So we got the tour, Wiz, and it was great. Those gyms are immaculate, busy, and Philadelphia fighting is strong. They say Philly's strong. Philadelphia boxing is strong, and to me, is the fight capital of the world right now. That you got boxing there every couple of weeks in one of the arenas there, 2300 Arena and so forth. We talked about Ray Robinson, this Jesse Hart, Stevie Fulton. He's a world champion. I mean, you got guys like that just keep coming on. It's a factory of fighters. However, you didn't get me to the Rocky statue. I wanted to make peace with Rocky. I never got there. It's your fault.
We had a busy weekend with the boxing, Phillies Mets doubleheader, So it was a lot going on.
Yeah, and I never got to the Rocky statue. I wanted to go make peace with the statue. And you didn't make me make peace with the statue. You had no time to take me to the statue. So the mission wasn't totally complete.
We got to the ballpark, what, at like 11 that
I don't
morning?
care. It was time to go to the statue. But you wanted to get your iced coffee. So you wanted to divert yourself. That's all right. I'll do it another time.
Going back to Philly, and you bring it up all the time. It's like it's a boxing hub. It's a fight
all the time.
You only notice it when you're in there.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience in a Philly boxing team, and I totally
Philadelphia is a hotbed for boxing. Yeah, exactly. Bernard Hopkins too. Joe Frazier, smoking Joe Frazier, the history. On and on. Pernell Whitaker, on and on. Olympian, pro, champion. Current boxing now, the rematch has been set. Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion, it's been set. The rematch set. The lightweight championship in Australia, October 16th. ESPN platform. It is free. You don't have a pay-per-view fight. Of course, Haney demolished Kambosos, took the title from him just a few months ago. Maybe Kambosos will offer a better challenge this time. But that set is we're going to get into the boxing season of a busy fall. The late sub, Sergey Lipinets, over Adrian Broner. He replaced Broner, and he beat Omar Figueroa Jr. Figueroa says it's time to retire. He said that he took the fight in 5 days' notice. Lipinets won the fight. Down in round 2 was Figueroa, the WBC Alphabet Super title, as I call it. Figueroa retires. He says his body has had enough after 27 years. He's fought as a lightweight champion before. Omar Figueroa, to me, I don't think it's over. Fighters never end. They say they're retiring, but they're not. I don't believe he's retired. I believe you'll see him again. But he only landed 40 punches, Wiz, in 8 rounds. And that's an indication that it's time to go. When you fight, it does that in an 8-round fight, 40 rounds, and you can only do that, it's time to go. This guy, excuse me, Usyk, Ukrainian pride, fought for his country, defended the heavyweight championship for the world in Saudi Arabia. And Anthony Joshua now, the second time around, could not get the titles back. WBC title still held with Tyson Fury, who says he's going to unretire now again because he felt that, as he said, they were shit. Tyson Fury said both of them were shits. S-H-I-T-E. That's how he spelled it. And Tyson Fury might have that fight now with Usyk that could happen over in UK. Anthony Joshua, what remains of him? The big fights are over unless he wants to fight Deontay Wilder, who's come back in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center in October against Robert Helenius at the Barclays Center, a Showtime fight, heavyweight. Wilder comes back. But for now, Anthony Joshua, he said he was distracted. I don't know what he meant by that. He says he was in a dark place. Could that be, again, mental illness coming out with Anthony Joshua? Who knows? Fighters are saying that now, excuse or not. But Anthony Joshua had his shot again, didn't get it. Deontay Wilder's coming back. Tyson Fury says now he's not going to retire. So we'll see what happens in the weeks to come as the heavyweight division gets interesting. More boxing news. Canelo Alvarez getting ready. The big fight 4 weeks away. Triple G. Show some enthusiasm, Wiz. This is boxing. It's a lot. Show that enthusiasm. Put up your fist, my friend. All right? This is going to be a slow week, though. Off week for boxing. One fight, Jose Pedraza, who defeated our friend Julian Rodriguez last year on ESPN against Richard Conway. That'll be this Saturday on ESPN. Arturo Bertov, the injured light heavyweight, chance October 29th. His title defense now on hold. Of course, he beat Joe Smith in New York to become the undisputed champ in that division. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are close. Still not signed, but I hear it's imminent that they'll have this fight going probably for some time in mid-November to unify the 147-pound titles. And more news out of boxing. Albert Palullo won the vacant WBA 140 title, vacated by Josh Taylor. That's a hot and heavy division in boxing at 140. That's where Pedraza is right now, still in the mix. And that's where Teofimo Lopez now is trying to take over, who won his fight 2 weeks ago in Vegas on his comeback at 140. And the towering inferno known as Sebastian Fedora. You know, this tall, lanky fighter. Have you seen him, Wiz?
I've seen him.
Have you seen him? Undefeated super welterweight. Well, he's going to defend his interim WBC super welterweight title against Carlos Ocampo on Showtime October 8th. There's a lot of boxing ahead. More next week. We'll talk more about these big fights. What do you think of that, Wiz? Busy boxing schedule, isn't it?
Busy boxing schedule. Even in Philly, like on Friday night, we're tuned in for the Mets game, and you had 3 different live streams going for weigh-ins. You just couldn't have enough. So when you say keep it in the ring, people, everyone watching out there, when he says keep it in the ring, he means it because he lives that 24/7, 365.
And I do that with pro wrestling too. Bring Cal in now. Keep it in the ring time with pro wrestling, Cal. Cal, real quick, we'll go over some of the events in pro wrestling. Hey, Cal, you're hanging in there with us. Thanks again for producing again, SLG Network.
Absolutely. Love it.
Oh, good. Well, we love you too. We thank you for all your hard work.
You had a lot of energy during the score updates.
Yeah.
The music brought me alive. What can I say?
Exactly.
I'm sorry I missed it. I stepped away.
That's
but you'll be doing another one than this one.
Yep.
No, I just do. I'm glad to see that you did a good job. Wiz gave me a good review about it. You passed the test. Thank you very much. Hey, Cal, take a look at Triple H now. What's going on? Have we changed the direction of WWE rather quickly? Johnny Gargano shows up on Raw last night with Theory. And what do you make of that? Doc Ziegler in the mix, bringing back some old friends. What did you think of that?
It feels like it's a brand new TV show with all the same characters that previously had it on there. Like there's a lot more. I guess the word to use for it is spunk. Like everybody's entertaining, like their personalities, they're allowed to be themselves. Hunter has kind of opened it back up to the creative flow that you had during the Attitude Era, where you could go out and say some crazy stuff and then allow the crowd to react to it and play off of it. And Johnny Gargano coming back is a godsend because the dude is probably a top 5 in-ring talent in the world. And he knows how to tell a story when he's in the ring. So I'm ecstatic to see what Johnny Gargano's got.
Well, I didn't see the ratings report today by Monday Night Raw. Did you get it? How did it do last night?
I want to say in the key demo, I think they did 1.9 again. So like it's pretty high for Monday Night Raw post Vince McMahon. Because
fans are buying into the Triple H technique, the Triple H system, which is pretty good. And then you saw Dexter Loomis. What's his name?
Yep.
Loomis.
Dexter Loomis, the psychopath himself.
And the kidnapping the Miz.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the whole show. I caught bits and pieces and highlights. That's another Triple H thing, isn't it? With creativity, good one too.
Yeah, he Dexter Loomis came from NXT, and he became like a big name by kidnapping Austin Theory, now named Theory, in NXT. Came back and they were best of pals, and him kidnapping the Miz is just Triple H showing that he's back in charge and bringing back the roots of the character that was Dexter Loomis in NXT. So
that's a good leading up to the Castle. What is it called? What Castle? What's in there? Clash of the Castle with Roman Reigns and, of course, Drew McIntyre, which I expect there might be a title change. There's lots of speculation about that. Ronda Rousey, heel or a face now? What's going on with her?
I don't think there is an answer to that question. I think she's got like the Stone Cold role of the 90s. Like she's the anti-hero, but the anti-hero that the crowd is starting to love. Ronda's starting to be the baddest woman on the planet again, but in her WWE form, where she's able to be the badass, but she's not having to have all the restraints on her. You know,
I like the way Ronda Rousey is right now. I love it. The aggressive and all that stuff about her. I like that. Actually, she got arrested the other night on SmackDown. Yeah. I like that. That's, again, more Triple H creativity. And Kurt Angle is coming back to Monday Night Raw Monday in Pittsburgh, his hometown. What do you make of that? The Hall of Famer Kurt Angle on Monday Night Raw.
I say that anytime you can get a Hall of Famer in their hometown to get a cheap pop, it 100% should be done. It makes the crowd super happy. You saw it this week in Raw with Edge in Toronto. You'll see it next week with Kurt Angle in Pittsburgh. They love him, and they'll 100% buy into the fact that he'll be there for a segment. He'll probably take a bump or give somebody one, but I'm assuming it's going to be an electric segment.
How about Edge and Judgment Day now, and Edge's wife?
Yeah.
She's back in the picture. Are they going to team up again?
I would not be surprised if we saw a Edge and Beth Phoenix versus like Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley at Clash at the Castle, because they still have some filling out of that card to do. The crowd over in Cardiff is going to be insane, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a tag match here within the next couple.
And what happened to Amos and what's his name?
MVP.
MVP. Where are they? Haven't been on Raw in weeks.
Yeah, I think Dexter Lumis got to them too, because they're just MIA. Haven't been seen anywhere. Maybe they got kidnapped off camera, but maybe we'll see them here soon. If anybody can book Omos the right way, though, it'll be Triple H.
Look at the Wiz. He's so interested in this stuff. Just look at his enthusiasm.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. 3 weeks ago, it was tough for me to tune into WWE, but since the Triple H turnout, I've been tuning in here and there. And since the SummerSlam with the bulldozer, like that's something you need to tune into. And after that, it just wants you to grab into it and watch more Monday and Friday.
Yeah, and if you want a good insight on what Triple H wants to do with WWE, he did an episode of Impulsive, which is a Logan Paul podcast, where he breaks down what he wants to do with the WWE in the future. He wants to take it to heights it's never seen before. He's going to try to surpass the Attitude Era, and I actually think he could.
So there's more to come from Logan Paul as well. He signed a multi-million-dollar deal with them, so I'm sure he'll be there. Yeah. Now we go to AEW. They're still my favorite group. I can't wait till they come back to New York at Arthur Ashe Davis Stadium middle of next month. Tomorrow night on TBS, here it is. They're going to get the title match. We saw a prelude of it already. We're finally going to get CM Punk, and we're going to get Jon Moxley for that title in prime time. That should be pay-per-view. What do you make of that?
I'm telling you right now, do not expect a clean finish. For those of you that are not a part of the wrestling lingo, that means this is probably going to have a disqualification, or for whatever reason, somebody will run in on the match. There's speculation that Maxwell Jacob Friedman could be returning tomorrow to interfere. And for those that don't know, he had a huge.
I think MJ, he's coming back, and he's going to be involved in that match for the winner. And he's coming back as the good guy. CM Punk turns out to be the heel. MJF comes back as the big guy. Hell, he gets cheered anyway, heel or baby face. So MJF comes back. I believe that's going to happen. All right. That's the Keep It in the Ring wrestling and boxing segment. And we got a UFC note coming from the Wiz. He follows that stuff. I don't. I don't like the UFC as much as I don't like the Rocky statue, but I'm going to make peace with the Rocky statue sooner or later, because he didn't take me to the Rocky statue because he's too busy drinking iced coffee. But Wiz, what happened in the UFC with this guy Usman?
Usman. Yeah. Let me just say, it was an epic Saturday. It was an epic Saturday for UFC 278. You had Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards for the welterweight title, and Kamaru Usman was entering the fight trying to get his 16th consecutive win in UFC. So I believe it was in Utah, but 18,000 fans, and honestly, Daniel Cormier and Joe Rogan was writing this guy's eulogy throughout the last round on broadcast. And just like that, with 46 seconds left, a hard right kick came out of nowhere from Leon Edwards, knocking out Usman, and it's arguably the greatest knockout in UFC history. And now Leon Edwards is the new welterweight champion, and Dana White announced
but
the day of
but can he be the pro fighter?
Yes.
I
100% think he could.
Come on, Cal. No UFC fight is going to be the pro fighter. In my lifetime,
it's two different sports. No. You can't connect the two. And if you
I know it's two different sports, but boxing is boxing. That's judo, wrestling, and boxing at the same time. These guys don't know how to box. That's why you call it boxing, my friend. They know how to. A fighter knows how to box. Would you say, Cal?
I said I don't know. I know there's people in the UFC who have the knockout power to fight in boxing. They might not have
but they don't have the technical skill to be in the
lifetime
ring.
Of experience or the technical
There's a difference
skill.
between, again, the octagon and a boxing ring. And it's a different mentality as well. And no UFC fighter could go toe-to-toe when a fighter gets ready to go pound for, okay?
No, I agree.
And I don't. I follow it a little bit. I still can't get into it. I'm not going to badmouth it like some boxing promoters do. But you ask any fighter that I know, and they know, the media, whatever. You very rarely hear a pro fighter say that they will lose. They'll say it. There's no way they can beat us. I'd love to see a tournament. Maybe I'll have the money one day to promote UFC and boxing. All card, a UFC fighter against a pro fighter.
We alternate.
All right?
We
put the Wiz in there. I'll put the Wiz in there as the referee. Okay, he'll screw the whole thing up because of a nice coffee in his hand, or it'll be at his friend's barbecue that I never get invited to. All right. You'll be the judge at ringside. What can I tell you? Like, comment, and subscribe in the cube. Like, comment, and subscribe in the cube on Sports with Rich. That moment. He's got another barbecue. Can you believe this, Cal? He's got another barbecue coming up.
Another one?
No, I do not.
Yeah. And he's leaving you home for that one too, Rich.
No, I made up plans. I knew what I was doing. I know what I'm doing this time. I know.
I love it.
Cal, let's take it to another break. We're going to come back to NFL and nobody beats the Wiz. Why don't you give us a brief update on the scoreboard again? Let me regroup because I'm running out of energy. It's 8:45 New York time, 9:45 New York time.
9:45.
Oh, okay. Wiz can tell the time. I know that. He's always on time.
To the barbecues,
Yeah, he's always on time. Especially when he goes to a barbecue with his friends. All right. Cal, give us an update. Let's get back on track here.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break.
And back NFL. Nobody beats Wiz. This is Sports with Rich Mancuso. He's a Wiz Robert Rizzo.
Oh, that's okay. Welcome. Rich, and here is your score update of the night. We have on the doubleheader, the Cardinals are now up 6-0 over those measly Cubs. The Yankees have retaken the lead 3-2 against the New York Mets in the Subway Series. Brewers, Dodgers have yet to start off, but the Astros are up 2-0 over the Twins. The Blue Jays are mopping the Red Sox 8-1 in the middle of the fourth inning there. And the Braves won today 6-1 over the Pirates as well. That was your Spunky Sports Update. You'll see Rich and Robert on the other side of this break. We'll see you soon.
What's up? It's Caleb from Bayou City Boys. Be sure and tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 for all things Houston sports related. If not, you can fight me.
Talking crazy, cuss captain. Say sipping that, he just acting. We can shoot a movie, getting active. These niggas food and fame family. I stayed humble, now I'm snapping. We was on the outs, now we back in. Boy, I'm eased up, teased up. Young nigga creased up, no slacking. Yeah, fuck niggas wanna kill me. Only real nigga feel me. This behind the music, this is fire to it. If it's wild, better feel me.
Mets are down 3-2. Wiz, come on, do something. Do it.
It's gonna be every show. We're gonna do an annual press conference. See how
My press conference. But I know Buck Showalter. If they lose, Buck Showalter's going to say this. Well, no, I'm here. So walk into the brush he cut, or something. We got a couple of hits here and there. We did okay. We're all right. We'll be fine.
I agree with the comment. Someone's SLG Network said Rich didn't break his mic.
Welcome to it. So everything will be fine. Don't worry. Them to come down. It'll be fine. We played a Rockers. No, that was a typical. That was a typical walk game. We can be fine.
Andrew Bennett,
a little more spunk, a great manager, but oh man, to get words out of his mouth, I'm deaf. It's making me deafer. All right, where's NFL? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just checking the update quick. Andrew Benintendi again, RBI single. That's what brought the Yankees up.
Yeah, wow, there you go. And then the Mets.
10 hits his last 9.
Look, as I said earlier during our baseball segment, the wins are more important for the Mets than the Yankees. Okay, the Mets have to hold off the Braves. And what are the Braves doing? I didn't catch the update again. I took a break. What are the Braves doing?
Got you right now. Braves are up 6-1.
Right. All right. So the Mets lose.
Braves won.
All right. So the Mets lose. It'll be what? 2 games?
1 game.
It'll be 1 game?
Yeah.
A 1-game lead in the division? I thought it would be 2.
I believe it was 2 going into tonight.
All right. Check the standings real quick before we go NFL.
Oh, we got 3.
All right.
2.5. So just
all
like
right,
that.
2.5.
Braves are getting.
Well, they never lose, and they're playing the Astros. They played them. They played the Pirates.
The Pirates.
All right.
The Braves answer the call.
So I said a few weeks ago the Mets would lose first place, and I'm still sticking to it. But they're a team that seems that they get it down to 1 or 2 games, and they come right back with the Rockies coming into Citi Field Thursday night. But I still think the Mets are going to lose first place.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be similar to what we saw with NL Central in the first half, how it went back and forth with the Cardinals Brewers. But
what do you think, fans? I want to hear from the fans. Your comments in the cube tonight. Get us. We want to hear from you. Rich Mancuso, the Wiz Robert Rizzo, Sports with Rich on the SLG Network Live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I write for Latino Sports, our Twitter and Facebook handles, and our social media being scrolled at the bottom. Ring 786 at Twitter, Facebook.com. I'm Rich Mancuso. The Wiz is on Twitter with that crazy name. What is it?
Robert Riz 994, Instagram rrizzo4, Facebook Robert Rizzo, and catch all my content on Latino
Sports. / I don't invite you to my barbecues. Okay. Or hashtags. Okay. All right. Let's go to the NFL real quick. Let's round it because kickoff is coming. We're got a big NFL special next week on the program. Let's look at Joe Flacco. He's going to get the starting job over Zach Wilson. How will the Jets fare with real quick with Joe Flacco the first few games or maybe the open game?
Yeah, Flacco is definitely going to start the opener because Zach Wilson with the knee injury, and it's better safe. It's a safe decision, I think, for the franchise overall. You got a 24-year-old quarterback that's suffering that knee injury. Flacco, on the other hand, is a 37-year-old veteran quarterback, Super Bowl winner in the past, and he's opening up against his former team in Baltimore Ravens at MetLife, so that should be a good Week 1 matchup against Lamar Jackson. And at that time, Lamar Jackson was the original quarterback in the league because he still gets that attention.
I would cross town or cross in Jersey where they are, not New York teams. The Giants rookie, T-backs, right?
Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. I got his name wrong. Then I'm not good with names. Everyone knows that. Injured, preseason game. Now they're talking about that it was his fault. It wasn't his fault. What led to that? Though the rookie is out for the year, already the Giants are hurting before the season starts. And that's because preseason games, to me, are too many of them.
Yeah. No, I agree with the preseason being too much. It's 3 games. They minimized it from 3 games to from 4 games previously. But with Thibodeau, it looked like a severe ACL injury based on all the videos we saw. But he's only going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks at most, and he might be back by week 2, depending on how.
There's something but hitting below with that rule, intentional or not, and that's still a major concern, especially in preseason. You're doing that, and there's your repercussion of it. It cost the Giants. Deshaun Watson suspension, 11 games, a major fine by the NFL, and I think it was worthy that he got 11 games.
Yeah, I think it had to be double digits because once we saw that first report, it didn't look good for the NFL. It didn't look good for any party at hand. And with them getting an 11-game suspension, that's the right punishment, I believe, and $5 million fine. So it financially affects him too. And he's only getting paid. It's messed up with the NFL and the Browns how they structured it. But he's only making like $1 million this year. He makes all his money in the following seasons. That's how they structure the contract. So
Cal
it's a
says
tough call.
Watson is coming back against the Texans. So,
yeah, that is a storyline. Week 12, I believe, it's going to be at Houston. So it's going to be not a good homecoming for him. I know he's from Georgia, but he spent his first 4 years in his NFL career in Houston. How
about Baker Mayfield now? Today, he's getting the start over Sam Darnold, the former Jet quarterback. Never seems to get a break. Week one against the Browns, it's going to be Mayfield and not our friend Sam Darnold. What do you think of that?
Overall, I think Baker's the better quarterback. He proved it in 2020 with the Browns. Obviously, he had a tough year last year, tough shoulder sprain throughout week 4, and then it lingered on throughout the whole season. So I think the Panthers got a good quarterback in Mayfield. It's a week-by-week process. You don't know how good he is until you get him. And especially if McCaffrey's healthy, that's a good 1-2 punch.
Both sides up matchups next week going into week 1 of the season, which is right around the corner. We're going to do it every week on the program. We'll have a prognosticator here. Every week, someone different, maybe someone the same. We're going to go over each week's matchups going into the Thursday night game, which will now be on Amazon Prime. The Chargers, Darwin Jones, 26-year-old, 4-year extension, the highest paid safety in the NFL, $76.5 million. Boy, are they getting contracts, these NFL players. Unbelievable numbers, Wiz.
Yeah, he got a mega deal, and I'm not a fan of paying safeties overall. You know, it lingers on throughout your franchise because obviously I agree with Calvin. Darvin James is definitely worth it, but at the end of the day, Jamal Adams, great safety. Seahawks paid him a ton, and now you see how Seattle is. Once you pay your safety, a lot of these other guys don't get paid, and you see the overall structure of your team. It lingers big time.
College football season starts Thursday night. Unbelievable. 2 games. Yep, 2 games Thursday night. Friday, Michigan State is on tap on the networks. Saturday, you've got Oregon, Georgia, and a big matchup already, week 1, Notre Dame, Ohio State. So if you love college football, it's your time of year. It all begins Thursday night. I'm an Irish fan of Notre Dame. That could be a great first game with Ohio State. We'll look at that. And then we go to NYCFC. Let's talk briefly some MLS. Finally off the winning slide, what they call it. They got the win 2-0 over Chicago. Without Castellanos, this team is different in the MLS, trying to defend their MLS Cup. They are not scoring. But Santiago Rodriguez got a goal in the 46th minute. He's going to be getting that ball more in the pit, and he scored one against Chicago. The 13 clean sheet for NYCFC this season leads the league. Sean Johnson, the keeper, with 13 as the leader in the league. But Orlando coming up Saturday night for NYCFC. First place, still a battle for them to get again in the Eastern Conference of the MLS. We are trying to get an MLS player on the program. We hope to succeed with that soon. I'm telling you that every week, Wiz. I want to hear the coach tell us how things have changed without Castellanos, the defending Golden Boot winner, who's no longer there.
Yeah, big time. And it's going to be a week-by-week process, game-by-game process. And as you mentioned, Orlando NYCFC coming up, that's a good matchup overall. 3rd seed versus the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. And that can have major repercussions when it comes to head-to-head standings during the playoffs.
And they don't have many home games, and they're not going to have many Yankee City Field because baseball's going to take over. They can't use those fields, which leads to the question again. They got to get their own stadium. I don't know when. They're nowhere closer to it than they ever were. On that note, now you know what time of the day game. You know the week. You know what time it is right now. Cal, let's get it going. It's Nobody Beats the Wiz. He's the lion. Where's the music? Cal? Do you hear it, Wiz?
I hear it.
Oh, I'm totally deaf. I can't hear it. I don't hear it. I don't know. I gotta raise my headphones. I don't know. But anyway, you know we do it. Yes or no? I asked the question briefly. Nobody beats the Wiz. He gives me his opinion. I interject a little bit. And here we go. You ready, Wiz? Here we go. Yes or no? Well, now I hear it. That's pretty
there we
cool.
Go.
Now I hear it. There's a hard hearing.
Shout out, Cal.
All right. You know, Major League Baseball continues to have problems with their replay system. We're seeing it at the ball. We saw it again the other night at Yankee Stadium. It took like 4 minutes to determine if someone got tagged or not. Ridiculous. Too long. They try to shorten the games out. Do you believe MLB replays are too long? The umpires just take too long. They check down at Kelsey headquarters, wherever it is, in that space orbit complex.
Overall, it's way too long. They tried to advance the rule and try to progress the rule, honestly, with the umpires announcing the rules to the crowd. That still didn't help. That only lasted them. And all the crowd, they're still pissed about it. Because, honestly, you're waiting 5-10 minutes. That affects your whole night. The game can end at 11 instead of 10:30. No one wants to get home at 1 in the morning from the
especially and even if there's a rain delay. We look at us the other night. Get off at 2 in the morning. Replay and rain delay. Put it together. All right, nobody beats the Wiz. Yes or no, Wiz with the Yankees. Who last? Is it Aaron Boone or Brian Cashman at the end of the year?
I think Cashman last out of both of them. I think Cashman stays, and if the Yankees don't make the World Series, Boone's the one that goes.
Longevity, I guess. Loyalty, I guess. Yeah. Nobody beats the Wiz. NFL now. We go yes or no, Wiz. I'm not being too hard on you this week. Believe me, my friend. After the long weekend we had in Philadelphia, I can't be too hard. The NFL has some outstanding quarterbacks. We know Tom Brady, if he's not the masked superstar or the masked singer. Patrick Mahomes, and we got Russell Wilson. Now we got Mayfield, and whatever we got, Kyle Murray in Arizona. And your opinion was who's the number one quarterback in the league before the season starts?
I got Mahomes number 1, but easy number 2 for me is Herbert. I think Herbert's going to have an MVP-like season if everything stays as is, stays healthy, the offense stays healthy. I think the Chargers can show the Chiefs a real run for the money in the division.
That's a good choice because he put that team in that Super Bowl last season, and boy, did he do it with that offense. And your quarterback is always a leader of the team.
That was the Rams. That was the Rams.
Nobody. Oh, yeah, that was the Ram. Right. Okay, and the disrespect to the back-to-back MVP is unreal. Calvin, you're interjecting. Yeah.
I can't give it to Rodgers. I can't name Rodgers the number 1 quarterback until he answers no in January.
Nobody beats the Wiz, yes or no. Sound effects at the ballparks, they bother me. You know that. Yankee Stadium got that stupid horn. But down 1 strike and that stupid horn plays, it scares the living hell out of me. All right? And then you have Dodger Stadium, the organ player doesn't know when to stop. Field has got all these other effects. It's Boston, Fenway Park, Sweet Carolina, I like that. The 7th inning stretch at Citi Field, Lazy Mary, I don't like that. It's an insult to the Italians. Too loud. And then you have the Billy Joel song, and all the fans try to become instant Grammy Award winners on the scoreboard. They don't even remember the words. It's too loud. It's annoying. The Yankees, YMCA, tradition with a ground screw. All right? They used to have Cotton Eye Joe. Do you like all these sound effects and things that go on ballparks as a young guy?
I like it. We saw it with Philadelphia this past weekend when the Mets struck out. It would be random sounds that it's like the noises of missed free throws for NBA games where they make fun of the opponent, visiting player. So it's good. I like it, but overall, my number one hatred for baseball is the wave across stadiums. I hate the wave. If your team is up 10-0 and you're doing wave, like, why? Honestly. I've never been a fan of it.
It's stupid. I don't understand that either. You know, we're trying to catch a foul ball in the press box last night. Someone got it and threw it back. Only Yankees can do that. Funny. You can't do that anywhere else. A foul ball comes in, and then I was going to ask that as a question. By the way, so let's ask you: would you throw it back?
I would throw it back. I would, honestly.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I would too. I've done it before. I kept one because it rolled under my feet. I didn't know where it was. And it ended up being a foul ball. I kept it. Nobody knew. But the Yankee Stadium, you got to throw it back. All right, Wiz, here we go. Yes or no, nobody beats the Wiz. You know, we saw this at Yankee Stadium last night. This fan is eating a hot dog and a beer with a straw. Through a straw. That seems to be the newest trend. He's starting to do it. It went viral. So, you know, what is your way of eating a hot dog and having a beer? And don't tell me you're not a beer drinker. I know you are once in a while. What is your favorite way of eating a hot dog and having a beer?
Nothing like that guy at Stadium last night. Once I saw that video, I had to watch it at least a few more times thinking, what the hell just happened? Because that was utterly disgusting. I would never even think of doing that, but it was my option. Eating a hot dog, I'm plain as it is. So I'd have a plain hot dog with my favorite beer. I'd probably do a Stella.
I like hot dogs because I can't eat them. And I love eating them, but I can't because it never stays in the bun. It ends up all over me. Would it be on a straw? I don't know how he did that. Oh, anyway.
How he did it.
Well, final question to you is: nobody beats the Wiz. Now, be honest with me, yes or no? All right. We took a trip to Philadelphia. We traveled a lot this summer, me and you. I got to know you. You got to know me better. All right. You're my protege. You're taking over soon. But honestly, yes or no? Nobody beats the Wiz. Do I annoy you in a long car ride?
Nah. You don't annoy me in a long car ride. If anything, we could start doing the shows during the car rides because we talk college football, we talk baseball, we talk football in every single car ride. So like we break down each division as we drive down to Philly, as we drive back.
There's got to be something that annoys you though.
No, I laugh when you talk about the rain.
Yes, I love when it rains, but there's got to be something that annoys you. You know what annoys me though? You turn one station on from another, which is satellite, in that car of yours.
Yeah, I do that.
I want to listen to music. Not sports. And this guy's got to put one sports station on after another. He flips back and forth, especially when you're going from one market to another, New York to Philadelphia. You don't know who to listen to. I want music.
I pay my monthly fee with Apple Music, and I still listen to podcasts more.
Okay.
I listen to podcasts and radios every day, no matter what.
Basically, I don't annoy you on long car rides. However, the same question always comes up to you. Yeah, I know where you're going this weekend, to a friend's barbecue, and I'm not getting invited.
I don't know what I'm doing this weekend yet. It's open because we have the Bronx tournament, the Latino sports.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. All right. I know you're going to a barbecue. I know where you're headed.
There's no barbecue.
So you tell your buddy Jackson and everyone else that you're friends with to watch the show, leave the old man at home. I don't care. All right. And with that note, my friends, that's Nobody Beats the Wiz for this Tuesday night edition of Sports with Rich. Until next week, we'll do more Nobody Beats the Wiz Sports with Rich here live on the SLG Network. And we'll be back to wrap this up. A lot more to talk about in the final segment. Some odds and ends, notes here and there. This is Sports with Rich Mancuso. That's the Wiz Robert Rizzo. Live SLG Network, YouTube, also my channel and SLG. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back after this.
What's up? It's Caleb from Bayou City Boys. Be sure and tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 for all things Houston sports related. If not, you can fight me.
Talking crazy, cuz captain. Say sipping neck, he just acting. We can shoot a movie, getting active. These niggas fool the thing family. I stayed humble, now I'm snapping. We was on the outs, now we back in. Boy, I'm eased up, teased up. Young nigga creased up, no slacking, yeah. Fuck niggas wanna kill me. Only real nigga feel me. This behind the music, this is fire to it. If it's wild, better feel me.
Like I say, I think the Yankees are going to end up sweeping the Mets for back. Final moments of Sports with Rich here live on the SLG Network. Like, comment, and subscribe. Rich Mancuso, and as always, the Wiz Robert Rizzo. 4-2, bottom of the eighth, Yankee Stadium. And I think the Braves win the game, so the Mets are going to be losing first place. I keep telling everyone. I keep telling you that. Wiz, did you see this tonight? He's going to wrap this up soon. Mike Trout, 25th home run of the year, and that was the 1,500 hit of his career. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm happy for Trout. He's been going through a lot this season with the back injury. A lot of people thought he was done for it. It was a similar injury. People are regarding it back to David Wright's injury with the back. So I'm glad he's out there staying healthy, because it's not just the Angels franchise. Mike Trout healthy on the field is good for the sport, because any fan is tuning in for Mike Trout playing.
Good point. Briefly, NBA, Kevin Durant and the saga with the Brooklyn Nets is over. They've come to an agreement. He's going to be in net. Finally, that drama's all over. Now, will Kevin Durant produce for the Brooklyn Nets?
I think he'll definitely produce. We were saying on the show week by week that our major thoughts was he's going to stay. He's not going to find a trade package that's easily equal for Brooklyn, honestly, because a 34-year-old, 33-year-old Kevin Durant, 4 years left on that deal, there's no trade package you can get if you're Brooklyn. And for them to get KD back, you got Kyrie, you got Ben Simmons. That's what they wanted going into the playoffs this past season. So I think it's going to be a good overall season for the Brooklyn Nets. And it's their 10th year in Brooklyn for the Nets franchise. So hopefully they make some noise in the postseason.
All right, the Lakers, LeBron James, he signs the 2-year, $97.1 million extension. The third year, a player option, the highest earning player in NBA history, $532 million. Jesus, right. Is he worth all that money?
He's worth every penny and some, because there's more LeBron James jerseys than in every other store, any other stadium that you see when it comes to NBA. And when he's playing on the court, like we said with Trout, it's good for the game, not just one franchise. When LeBron's playing, people are tuned in. He could be, like we saw this past weekend, it was a Pro-Am tournament. People were sleeping on the streets for 2 days before just to see LeBron play for 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's an icon. I like him and hate him. He's one of the greatest NBA players of all time. And it's going to show Hall of Fame and everything else. All the accolades he'll continually get. He'll continue to be a champion, whether you like him or not. And Tom Brady back in camp, finally down in Tampa Bay. The internet made a big thing out of this. He took the time off, and he said he was competing as a masked singer, but he wasn't because he wore a mask. That stupid show. It's so stupid. Have you ever seen it on Fox?
I've seen it. I don't like it one bit. But overall, even with UFC, the Tom Brady news got leaked to the UFC. Dana White had a conference with Rob Gronkowski on Saturday night, and they talked about how in 2020 it could have happened that Brady and Gronk ends up in Vegas with the Raiders. And honestly, I don't believe that one bit, because why would Brady leave New England Patriots to join a division with Patrick Mahomes? People aren't realizing that. Like,
in the old day,
Brady made the right decision going to Tampa.
Without Twitter in the old day, nobody would give a damn. Nobody really wouldn't. But this is 2022. So that's what happens. You Twitter monkey, you know all about that. So much Twitter review. I'm a Twitter monkey now. I can't stop looking at Twitter because of you.
My hands get tired.
Yeah. Well, if you're not inviting me to a barbecue, but you go somewhere else to a friend's barbecue, you won't take me, though. Why don't you invite Buck Showalter? Buck Showalter would be hilarious for you. Yes, Buck a question. Buck, what do you think of the hamburgers and hot dogs? Buck, what do you think of the hamburgers and hot dogs? Well, I'm just all right, but I would try a straw and the beer. And just, I think that's pretty good.
He's a little busy for 8 to 10 months.
Yeah, I know.
So
All right, Latino Sports, the website you write for, I write for, and you continue to write some great pieces all the time. LatinoSports.com. Back to school weekend will be in my neck of the woods, Orchard Beach in the Bronx. They do an event every year, back to school for the kids. If you're in the New York City area, stop by. Free backpacks and a lot of other health screenings for the kids at Orchard Beach in the Bronx this weekend. And, you know, I got to show everyone the Wiz in action. On the field before the game. There he is. Look at the Wiz pregame.
I didn't even know you took that.
Well, yeah, I'll do things like that. That's Nicole. That is our steam editor at Latino Sports. And next to Julio. Cal, can you put that up again? I want you to look how interested. Look how interested Robert the Wiz Rizzo is here. Look at him. I just, you know, I don't know what you were looking at, what you were talking about. I know this. You invited Julio Bone and Nicole to the barbecue.
No, that's nothing. We had nothing to talk about with the barbecues. I was zoned in on the batting practice at hand. But that day, it's good that you took that picture. Me, you, Julio, and Nicole. We got to approach Oswaldo Cabrera, the rookie for the Yankees.
Right.
Introduced ourselves, talked about Venezuela.
Right. You know what? That's where we get a lot of information before the game on the field or in the clubhouse. But on the field is great. Batting practice in the dugout if you get the chance, and you get to talk to players up front close on the field, and you get to see some good swings maybe that can happen during the game. So, yeah, well, keep it up, Wiz, because you know I teach you do a great job. You know, you do. Marvelous writer, getting better and better. No, I'm not the best. I'm good, but not the best. But mentoring you and getting you where you are right now, it's indeed a pleasure. And that speaks us to wrapping up with the fact of the week. Did anybody get it?
Oof.
Let me read the fact of the week. Fact again. Aaron Judge bobblehead up for grabs, all right? In the NFL, over the years, in the category is 300 games most NFL players, a majority have played, but only 3 have become punters. Punters, because you would think a position player other than special teams, NFL, you know, are not going to be punters, but only 3 have become punters. And were punters in their NFL games in their career compared to all the others over the years. 3 of them. This is, again, not trivia. This is a fact. But I'm going to give you them. If you know the names, it's your chance. Cal, come on in, take a crack at it.
So you're looking for a punter who's played for 300-plus games, correct?
Yes, players to play an average 300 games all these years.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah.
But they've never been a punter. But the players in the NFL were punters. They got into a game and were punters.
Is Frank Gore one of them?
No.
Okay. See, I'm already out.
Maybe the guy we were talking about before, Brady.
Brady, he's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're on a hot streak, but you got to get 2 more.
I got
Ty, who's watching the program with me tonight. Ty, do you have an answer, Ty? No, he doesn't have an answer.
All right, so I'll stick. I got Brady, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
No, not Peyton Manning. No, you got 1. You need 2 more. Fact, not trivia. Come on, we're running out of time. And you got it last week. There you got the other one. Brett Favre is the other one.
Shit.
Now I have to get it. I have to get it. If he gets this last one, then I have no choice to give him the emperor. I gotta give it away.
Shit. Sorry.
1 more. Brett Favre, Tom Brady, and 1 more. 2 quarterbacks too. Notice.
Drew Brees.
And if you get this, I was never to bother you again about a barbecue.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, final guess.
Well, I can tell you the other one wasn't a quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
a quarterback. Jeez. All right, this is a random one because you said Frank Gore. I'm gonna go Adrian Peterson.
No. Okay. So that's it. You don't have
All
it.
right, I was working.
You got 2 out of 3. I'm going to give you the third one. And a really good NFL Hall of Famer who set all types of records. Remember Jerry Rice?
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right, so you came close.
If I got that one, I would have had my own boom press conference throwing stuff.
And you would have had. I would buy you. I would buy you a case of hot dogs, burgers, and your favorite beer as well, with straws. On that note, fact of the week is over. We'll try it again next week. The Aaron Judge bobblehead, still here. Cal, any final notes?
No, not really. Shout out to
my.
Leon Edwards for the head kick heard around the world, but that's about it.
Any thoughts
And again, great
Dodgers Brewers going down? Any takes on that?
The Brewers are dead to me this year, I think. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. We're dedicated to winning. We'll make a trade in like 7 years when we trade away all of our.
And the Yankees are going to take the 2 from the Mets. Come down to the final out.
Yeah, I agree.
And that you know what? Whatever.
On to the next one. That's why
Yankees.
Baseball's a beautiful
to tell
sport.
you-
There's 162 games.
The Yankees are back. Yankees are back. Cal, thanks, my friend. Great work behind the scenes as always. I'll see you next week. Go Brewers. Thank you. Hey, Wiz, great show. Thanks, Jason Schott again from Brooklyn Digest, filling us in from Yankee Stadium. And everything else that went on this week. And I'm sorry I got on your case again, but that's just me. Okay? I got enough for this.
Thank you to Jason. Thank you to Dario. Thank you to Calvin behind the scenes. Thank you to SLG Network for setting this all up. Great time
Don't forget,
as always.
we're live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 10 or more. SLG Network, YouTube, my channel, and on SLG on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. I can be reached at Twitter, Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso, and much more. And scroll at the bottom. And keep in touch with us during the week. LatinoSports.com, NewYorkSportsDay.com, and many other places. I'm a whore in the business. That's everybody. Wiz, how did they get you? And where do you write again?
Yes, follow me on Twitter, RobertRiz994, Facebook, Robert Rizzo, Instagram, RRizzo4, and follow for all my content on Latino sports.
Thanks again, Wiz. I'll talk to you in a moment. Talk to you during the week. See you this weekend at Orchard Beach, wherever else we may meet up. He's a great young man, great protege to have. And I want to thank you all for being a part of this program each and every week on the SLG Network, Sports with Rich, live on YouTube. Till next week, everyone, I want you to stay safe, be well, and always take care of each other. Till then, Riz, what do we say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, everyone. Thank you. Sports with Rich. Till next week.